Can't beat a Saturday at the ballpark. Been a little rainy, but it's cleared out. Ready for Arkansas and Vanderbilt. Game 2 of this 3-game weekend set. Razorbacks ranked number 2. 6-1 for veteran coach Dave Van Horn, and Tim Corbin's Commodores at 4-3, ranked number 14 in this week's D1 baseball rankings. Kevin Ingram, Andrew Harris, live from the Hawk. Great to have you with us. It was all Arkansas last night. 9-0. Zach Root was outstanding. Pitched into the 8th. 7 2/3 shutout innings. Vanderbilt only managed 3 hits last night, so trying to turn things around against a very good Arkansas team.
Yeah, I think that there was some really good pitching on both sides. I mean, both Thompson and Root really had some stuff going, but then, you know, Arkansas kind of started to get that momentum going and really never let that foot off the gas. So Vandy just looking to get a little response today.
Yeah, Andrew, and one of the big keys for Arkansas last night was a former Commodore in Camden Koschel. Had 3 hits. 2 of those left the yard. He was outstanding with 5 RBIs.
Yeah, runs were definitely a premium in these types of games. In that 4th inning, a huge momentum swing there by Cam Koschel. In the 6th inning, added a few more on the board, and it was really special for him coming back to Hawkins Field after transferring over to Arkansas. And you look at the night that he had: 3 for 5, 2 runs, 5 RBIs. You see in the 4th inning, he had that 2-run home run. The 6th inning, the solo home run. The 9th, just continued to add it on. But yeah, just a fantastic night for the guy that a lot of these Commodore fans very familiar with.
Hit the ball hard, 2 home runs. Vanderbilt try to keep him under control today as Cody Bowker takes him out. The junior from Maine. He is a transfer from Georgetown and has really pitched well in the SEC leaders in a few different categories, including 4th in opponent batting average at 171, 9th in ERA. You see that 264 mark so far with a 2-1 record. 4 2/3 last week against Texas A&M in Game 3 of that series against the Aggies. Well, for Arkansas, this lineup has just been excellent. 3rd in all of college baseball in slugging percentage at .603. Look up and down the SEC leaders, and they're top 5 in pretty much everything. See Davillon, Aloy, and Maxwell to get it started. Those Aloy brothers have been excellent. And talked about Cam Koschel down there in the number 6 hole today for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Our weather today, yeah, we've had a few showers. Looks really nice as we start the game. Low 70s, a little bit gusty. We'll be fine to get in today's game, and hopefully the weather will hold off and be just fine for the next couple days. A little bit of a breeze out toward left center field as Charles Davillon checks in to start the day. Vanderbilt and Arkansas for Game 2. Razorbacks took the opener, trying to take 2 out of 3 and win a series here for the first time in a long time. It is Bowker, it is Davillon. It's outside for ball 1.
Yeah, I think for Bowker against this lineup, they're going to use that big time down angle fastball. It's almost like a sinker, like trying to get a lot of those balls down in the zone and get some of those hitters just pound it right in the ground and get those ground balls.
Will land the breaking pitch. Ball and a strike here to the leadoff man for the Razorbacks. First in the SEC in runs scored with 42. 4th in average and 10th in total bases for number 24. A swing and a miss, 1-2. 1 for 3, 2 walks, a run scored last night. Comes in with a 10-game hit streak, on base in 21 consecutive games. Bowker's 1-2 pitch. Back up the middle. Razorbacks pick up where they left off last night. Davillon with a leadoff single as Austin sneaks over to get it in right center. And that hit streak already continues. That's 11 and 22 games on base.
Yeah, he got the ground ball. Just they're shading him a little bit more in that 4 hole. Sometimes happens, but yeah, Arkansas continuing to put the ball in play. Good things are happening.
Now it's the shortstop, Vahiva Aloy. Another guy who's, you look at the SEC leaders in a whole bunch of different categories. Short lead at first for Davillon as the pitch is in there for a strike.
And Kevin, I mean, Arkansas scored 9 runs yesterday. The Aloy brothers only 1 for 10, which is very strange. I mean, those guys have been on a tear, so you got to think a couple more hits coming in that lineup here today for them.
They have been excellent so far. Pitch downstairs, 0 for 5 in Game 1 for Vahiva. That ended an 8-game hit streak. Guy who's been SEC Player of the Week 2 different times so far. And started every game at shortstop for him. Break-even pitch with a man at first. Big swing. A pitch upstairs, 1-2.
Yeah, Kevin, I think you'll see a lot of big swings through this lineup, and these guys 1 through 9, they don't get cheated. I mean, they're up there to hack, and they take some big old swings.
1-2. Bowker out of the stretch. Fly ball foul. Yeah, I was out here watching BP a couple hours before the game, and they were taking some big hacks in batting practice. They were the Alloy brothers, and that's what Andrew is talking about. So you could hear here in just a little bit. Bahiba was top 10 in batting before last night. Another 1-2. Close, just missed. Colin Barzy, the catcher, tried to help out his pitcher there. Count goes to 2-2. Maybe a little low.
Yeah, tried to come inside with that slider. A nice job holding off, keeping that ball low.
Runner bluffs going out to short. Vanderbilt try to start a double play. Vasti to Mancini and over to Nelson. 6-4-3. Bowker gets the pitcher's best friend. 2 outs here in the first.
That Bowker just been a ground ball machine this season, and this no different. It's about as easy as you can draw it up right at Vasti. Nice little flip, nice turn by Mancini.
14th double play turn by Vanderbilt. These are 2 of the SEC's best defensive teams. First in fielding percentage, and also these teams have the fewest errors among the 16 clubs in the Southeastern Conference. Big swing by Logan Maxwell, the right fielder. The senior from Ohio carries a 21-game on-base streak into today's play. In the air, short right field, ranging out is Mancini. Into foul territory, he makes the catch. Cody Bowker allows a leadoff single, gets a double play ball, and a pop-up off the bat of Logan Maxwell. Nothing for Arkansas. Vanderbilt coming up.
Only the ServiceNow platform puts AI agents to work across your company. They deal with the small stuff that bogs you down.
Agents like secret agents?
You know, I once played a secret agent.
Oh, I missed that one. I heard you were great.
I was great.
The Huddle. It's a circle of trust. Here, big plans become big plays. Standing shoulder to shoulder, sharing an unbreakable bond. The Huddle is where confidence is forged. And where the game is won. Financial confidence is built that way too, working together on your region's Greenprint plan. Let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. For a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Arkansas leadoff single erased on a double play. Commodores come to the plate here in the bottom half of the first inning. Weather clearing out and a good crowd here at Hawkins Field for Game 2, a much anticipated series. Vanderbilt hosts number 2 Arkansas. There's Gabe Gackel, the sophomore from California. 1 2/3 against South Carolina in his most recent start, allowed 3 earned runs, but Arkansas has played well in his starts. Razorbacks have gone 5-1, and they have given him plenty of run support, averaging 10 runs per game. That's 60 over 6 starts as he's out there for start number 7. Gackel facing this lineup for Vanderbilt. Rustin Rigdon installed, hits in 5 of his last 6 at-bats, including a big night in the midweek game against Eastern Kentucky. Had the walk-off, 1 of 4 hits. Humphrey, Austin, and Johnston here in Vanderbilt's half of the first inning.
Yeah, anytime, especially on a Friday, you get blanked, you're going to want to come out quick. Try and grab that momentum, just find a way to get some guys on and get some runs early, because you don't like that taste in your mouth very long.
Gackel mid to upper 90s with a fastball and a good slider, and pitches outside for ball 1. Saw 96 against Humphrey, the senior from Maine. Trying to get the bat rolling again. 0 for 3 in game 1 last night. 2 balls and no strikes. Humphrey has got on base. He has made things happen. Tied for third in steals with 11. Pulled over to third. Iredale was playing in. He throws out Humphrey, one out.
That's a nice play. Because that was, Iredale was playing in because of the threat bunt from Humphrey. And this ball was rocketed right at him. Just kind of stuck his glove out there, able to pick it. Especially on this turf. I mean, that ball is screaming towards you. So very nice play to keep your head on a swivel.
Gets to you quickly. Nicely done by the Arkansas third baseman. Here's R.J. Austin. R.J. 0 for 4 last night in game 1. Talented junior from Atlanta. Slider misses away.
And for this offense to get rolling, it's going to probably start with Humphrey and Austin at the top. I mean, you get those guys on base. You look at the stolen base numbers, both double-digit. Those guys get that offense rolling. It's a little bit different than Arkansas, because Arkansas, a lot of long balls, they can really hurt you with leaving the yard. But for the Commodores, they get guys on, and they really just hurt you with, putting guys in motion and just doing it with the legs.
2-ball count to Austin. Swinging on a slider, 2-1. It's been a bit of a struggle for number 42 lately, although he did have one of the big hits of that series last weekend against Texas A&M. Go ahead 2 RBI single and a 6-run 7th. Out of play, 2-2. Guy part of the Golden Spikes preseason watch list, also preseason second team All-SEC. 2-2 pitch. Austin checked, appeal to first, didn't go. Jarek Malika, the first base umpire.
That was 97. Had a little extra juice on it. And you got to remember, last year Gackle used more of as a relief and as a closer role, so definitely jump up there on the miles per hour.
Back this way on a payoff pitch.
See 98 on that one. Moved into that starting role this year. He does have that big fastball. He's got 2 kind of different breaking balls. We saw the harder kind of 12-6, about 88. He's also have a slower one too, but just trying to find a way to mix up those pitches and go a little bit longer in some of these games.
Second payoff to Austin. Again, fought it off. Yeah, you pitch in relief, hard fastball and a hard slider. That'll maybe get the job done for you. But as a starter, you need to develop that pitch package a little bit.
Yeah, especially second, third time through the lineup. You saw a changeup there as well as 89. That just makes that fastball look a lot faster.
Austin out on strikes. Went back to the heater, climbs into the high 90s, and pitch climbs up there, and Van Austin for the second out.
Yeah, he went 97, 98, fastballs up in the zone. He was able to foul him off. Then he went with a changeup up in the zone, fouled it off, and then, dialed it up again. Fastball up in the zone, and R.J. Austin just couldn't handle it.
Well-talented freshman Brody Johnston now for Vanderbilt sees a first pitch slider. 341 among the team leaders with 5 home runs and 25 knocked in, 7 doubles as well. 1 for 4. 2 Ks against Arkansas back in game 1 last night. Hit a mile high off third. Iredale, the third baseman, takes a look. A few rows back. Took a minute to come down. Hey, you know them, right?
Oh, yeah. Some special guests in the house.
Is this Walker's first game?
So I was going to say, first game at Hawkins Field. First game. And you were here to witness it.
I was here for it. It's fantastic. Maryland, Walker Harris in the house. Good stuff. 0-2 coming up to Brody Johnston. Back to the mound. Gackle snares it. Runs and flips. 3 up, 3 down for the Commodores. And a 1-3 put out to retire the side. There you go. Let's get some runs, she says. No score after 1. We'll check in with Kayla Anderson when we come back.
The Huddle. It's where confidence is forged and the game is won.
That's a touchdown.
Financial confidence is built that way too with your Regions Green Print plan. So let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank.
to reset. You can do this. Nice and controlled. That's good.
Come on.
Take a deep breath in.
Let's do it. Crank them out. Straight to the finish line, baby. Let's go.
Well done.
I be going hard every day.
Be you. That's enough.
Did you know our Jersey Mike's order came with a $25 Fanatics promo code? Insane deal. Awesome. Can we please turn it off while we're eating? Simon feels very attacked right now. Oh, he feels attacked.
My Mike's members score Fanatics gear, like Simon, just by spending $25 in the app.
No score after one. Game 2, Arkansas and Vanderbilt here at Hawkins Field in Nashville. We saw Brody Johnston make the final out of the first inning. We check in with Kayla Anderson with a little more about the talented freshman for the Commodores. Kayla?
Hey, great to be with you guys this afternoon. Yeah, Brody Johnson might be one of the younger players on this Vandy boys roster, but his stats might say otherwise. You had mentioned he's right now batting average .337. He's leading the team with 5 home runs and, 25 RBI. Head coach Tim Corbin said it's actually pretty rare to find a guy like this that has baseball maturity like this, and he's exactly right. When I spoke to Johnston earlier this week, he said that's really been my mentality for a while. He said, I don't want to get too high, too low. I don't want to freak out about anything. I'd rather just reset and restart. He really said the best thing that helped him was playing in the Appalachian League this past summer. He said he got to see some good arms. He also was a starter at 5 positions in the field, guys. And he let one go out in terms of the All-Star game. It registered, I think, 106.9 in terms of his home run. He earned MVP honors for that one, guys.
Yeah, Kayla, appreciate that. And Brody's been really good so far for this Vanderbilt team, and saw him at shortstop for the midweek game the other night. Looked just fine. Kayla's talking about all the different spots he can play in the field.
Yeah, guys, and I was going back to that Appalachian League. That's something that the coaches encouraged him to do, and a lot of other coaches that have been in Major League Baseball and around the league are coaching there too. So he said he got a lot of good tips from them as well.
Good instruction as we see the leadoff man, Kahil Aloy. He is a cleanup man in the order for Arkansas. 2 balls and a strike on a pitch off the plate. The younger brother of Vahiva Aloy, who we saw in the first inning. 2 ball, 1 strike count from Bowker. Hard hit, center field. Austin going back on that one on the warning track. Got it. That was a smash to about the deepest part of the yard. 1 out in the Arkansas second.
Yeah, I think if that's 20 feet to the left, I mean, that's out of here. But yeah, that ball was crushed. Aggressive swing, nice little leg kick. R.J. Austin able to run it down. You put this ball anywhere near the plate with guys 1 through 9 to this lineup, they're going to put a swing on it. So we really got to focus on executing those pitches exactly where you want them.
Third baseman Brent Iredale with 1 out. Outside for ball 1. 338. You look up and down this lineup for Arkansas, Andrew, and some very impressive numbers. Yeah. 9 homers, 41 RBIs for the junior. Tied for 4th in RBIs, 7th in slugging, 9th in on base. In terms of SEC rankings, pitch outside 2-0. 0 for 3, 2 walks, scored a run last night. Two ball count as Bowker needs a strike. Foul. This guy has been really good for Vanderbilt, whether it's been typically as a Sunday starter, they've moved him up a spot last couple weeks. He has fit in just fine, transferring here from Georgetown. 2-1 to Iredale. In on the hands and going to drop it into left field for a 1-out hit. Got enough of it to pull it down the third base line. Rigged over to get it quickly. 1 out and man aboard for the Razorbacks.
That's one as a hitter you think, thank goodness we're using a metal bat, because that was 94 in on the hands. I think that's a wood bat. That bat's shattered pretty much.
You're picking up the pieces of it.
Yeah, it was a well-executed pitch there from Bowker. I talked with pitching coach Scott Brown a few weeks ago about a number of the pitchers, and for Bowker in particular, just told him, or just said that kind of trying to still figure out what they have with him. And they got him from Georgetown, and you're still trying to learn from him. He has a very unique pitch package. I mentioned the kind of sinker fastball, but he also has a cutter and slider, and more than anything, just a good strike thrower, and they know exactly what they're going to get out of him. So really like him in the Saturday slot, because whether you win a game on Friday, you're able to try and go for the series win, or like last night, you weren't able to get it done. You're going to get a good guy out there on Saturday to give you a chance to win.
Cam Kojal, one of the stars of last night's win for Arkansas. 3 for 5 with 2 home runs. He drove in 5. Fouled off 1 and 2. Sophomore from Omaha, played here at Vanderbilt last season. Carries in a 6-game hit streak. Been on base in 12 straight. See what he's done in SEC play. Another dangerous bat in this Arkansas lineup. In the air toward Austin, left center field. Hit pretty deep, and Kojal has done it again. That ball kept on carrying toward left center field. A 2-run homer for Kojal has the Razorbacks on the board first.
Wow. He just picked up right where he left off last night. 2 home runs last night. Those 2 last night to the pull side. This time goes opposite field. Man, pretty comfortable here at Hawkins Field, huh, Kevin?
He does look very comfortable, no question. Home run number 5, RBIs 22 and 23.
Again, that's not a terrible pitch. That's a fastball on the outside corner, kind of running off the plate, but Kojal able to stick with it. His bat stays in the zone a long time, so he's able to get a lot of that carry and some of that some of that backspin.
Ryder Helfrich, the catcher, hit by a pitch on the first offering after the home run by Kojal. Head down to first. So 3 home runs for Kojal. And the first game plus of this series as he returns to Nashville. Nolan Souza's the batter with 1 out, 2 in, and a man on base. Souza, the second baseman.
He heard some jeers from the Arkansas dugout, maybe thinking that was intentional. It did look like that was a slider that got away from him. I think if you're going to try and plunk somebody, you do it with a little bit more authority. Yeah. So
Souza was 0 for 3. Game 1 last night. Did have 2 walks, 2 RBIs. Ended a 5-game hit streak. See what is done is his sophomore year is unfolded. Part of the SEC all-freshman team last year when he hit 7 home runs and drove in 28. Ball and a strike. Helfrich down at first has gone 0 for 1 in steal attempts so far. Probably not the biggest threat to run. It's Arkansas lineup. Vanderbilt hoping for another double play ball. He bluffs going, pitches high, 2-1.
Yeah, the bottom of this order has been super helpful for this Arkansas lineup. And also, I mean, Helfrich and Souza, really the only guys that have started their career at Arkansas.
High fly ball, right center field. It is Humphrey. It is Austin. RJ will have a play. About a step short of the warning track. Makes a catch for the second out. Souza hit that ball a long way. Nothing to show for it. And the number 9 man in the batting order, Justin Thomas, will bat with 2 outs and Helfrich still at first.
Yeah, it had some hang time to it. When you saw Humphrey, it looked like he was going to grab it, but Wynn carried it all the way over to Austin. I think Bowker just happy that one stayed in the yard.
Here's Thomas, 1 for 4 last night. Fastball stays inside. He makes start number 21 today, the junior from Savannah. Shift employed with Mancini out behind second base. Strike 1. Bowker's fastball will reach up low to mid 90s. You'll see a lot of movement, especially on the arm side. Ball and a strike. Back this way, 1-2. Dangerous Arkansas lineup, hoping to flip it over and keep the inning going. Bowker trying to close it out right here with a 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Bowker fans Thomas for his first K. Strands a man at first. 2 runs on 2 hits, including this swing. Cam Kojal going oppo for a 2-run shot. 2-0 Arkansas in the second.
Only ServiceNow connects every corner of your business so people can do all their work on one platform.
No more mindless swivel chairing between platforms.
Or swivel chairing between apps.
No more swivel chairing.
I don't feel so good.
What did you do here again?
Mostly that kind of stuff.
Will you push me back?
No.
Used to be one would say, what's that got to do with the price of tea in China? When they wanted to poke holes in the relevance of something. Now though, if you're in tune with how events around the world affect each other, it becomes clear that the current going rate of tea in China has a lot to do with a lot of things, not just tea things either, but tariffs, franchises, and IPOs. How much?
Did you know our Jersey Mike's order came with a $25 Fanatics promo code? Insane deal. Awesome. Can we please turn it off while we're eating? Simon feels very attacked right now. Oh, he feels attacked.
My Mike's members score Fanatics gear, like Simon, just by spending $25 in the app.
Arkansas in front, thanks to that man, Cam Kojal, a 2-run homer in the top half of this second inning, his 3rd of this series already. The Razorbacks, after a 9-0 wipeout last night, leading 2-0 here in Game 2 as Commodores will send up the middle of the batting order. Riley Nelson, Mac Rose, Colin Barcy against right-hander Gabe Gackle. Only 3 hits for the Vandy boys in Game 1 last night. Riley Nelson 0 for 3 with a walk. Offseason addition to this Vanderbilt program. He has fit right in. Has been the starting first baseman pretty much the whole way. Junior from Texas at .356 to lead everybody in the lineup. 2 home runs, both were key and wins, including one last weekend against Texas A&M. Downstairs, 1-1. Left-hand batter with that open stance. 1-2. Like Gackle took something off and gets a swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was the changeup there, Kevin. And as you mentioned, Gackle, a lot of hard stuff. The velo of the fastball up there, 96 to 98, and a hard breaking ball. So taking it off with the changeup really helps.
Rolls over on the breaking pitch. Bouncer to the right side, and Nelson is the first out of the second. Had the shift on, so it was actually a 5-3.
Yeah, I was going to say, you score that the 5-3.
Right.
Yeah.
Made some plays so far. 3 ground balls and 4 hitters so far for Gackle. He'll pitch to Mac Rose, the sophomore. He and Colin Barcy split tie between DH and short and catcher, I should say. Another guy who's been a positive addition. He had Vanderbilt's first hit of the game last night. That was a 5th inning single, went 1 for 2 with a walk. Arkansas got outstanding pitching in Game 1. 3-hit shutout. Zach Root 7 2/3 of 3-hit ball with 3 walks and 7 strikeouts for his 4th win. 2-1 strikeout to Rose. We'll see Barzi in just a moment. 1 out, inning 2. Razorbacks in front. Liner, left field and deep. Davallon will play it off the wall. Rose has been a bright spot for Vanderbilt in this series. A 1-out double here in the second inning.
Yeah, you love having Mac Rose right there in the middle of that lineup. You know he's going to just find a way to have a good at-bat. Doesn't matter if that's a 13 pitch walk, or he's going to find a way to kind of golf this thing right to the fence and get a double. A lot of just positive at-bats there for Rose I've seen this entire year, and I think that's why they like finding a way to keep him in that lineup.
Saw that changeup again from Gackel. Running away from Rose, went with the pitch, sent it the other way. Vanderbilt trying to get on the board as Colin Barzy checks in. A check swing on a pitch away. 2 homers, 19 RBIs, batting average at .239. As he makes start number 25 of 2025. 0 for 4 last night. In the air. Left center field. It's going to be Thomas, the center fielder, to make the catch. Rose bluff going. Thomas stumbled for a bit. Now going to head on to third base. The out was recorded, but Rose tags and goes to third. 2 gone for Jonathan Vastine.
Yeah, you see Rose going back, tagging. I think Thomas got, it looks like his back cleat got stuck on his front foot. And where Rose was bluffing, ended up able to take that base.
Here's Jonathan Vastine, the veteran shortstop. Fastball for a strike. 224, 4 homers, 20 RBIs for the senior from Florida. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts last night. Got a day off against Eastern Kentucky in the midweek game, which was unusual for number 13. Fastball dots it inside corner, 0-2. That's a tough pitch right there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit inside.
Right under the hands.
Yeah, nice job by Helfrich bringing it back over the plate.
Gackel trying to close out Vanderbilt. Close pitch, 1-2. Rose at third with 2 gone, a 1-out double, and advanced on the flyout. Vanderbilt looking to score its first run of this series. Down by 2 in the second with a 1-2 pitch coming up. Vastine stays alive.
And Gackel just continues to go right at Vastine with the fastballs. 98 2 pitches ago, 97 right there. Let's see with 2 strikes if he tries to go backdoor with that slider.
Power stuff from the Arkansas right-hander. Another 1-2. Served the other way on a line, but getting back to make the play, Davalon, to end the threat for Vanderbilt. A double, a man stranded at third for the Commodores. Arkansas leads 2-0 after 2 in Nashville. To the ballpark and beyond, Arkansas and Vanderbilt. We go to the third. Razorbacks leading 2-0 on a Cam Kojal home run. Play game 2. Series here in Nashville. The son of Jay Levin, our crew, does a great job with a lot of our graphics and stats. So yeah, hanging out, watching some ball as Arkansas sends up the top of the order. It's Cody Bowker here in the third. Full foul. Charles Davalon, a single, but was erased on a double play back in the first. He continued his hit streak. To the right side. We'll get him this time as Mancini throws him out on a close play at first. 1 gone. Well, spoke too soon.
I think Mancini was playing a little bit beyond the, I was going to say dirt, but dirt-colored turf. I had to come get this slow roller. But yeah, Davalon burning down that line.
Vahiva Aloy hit into a double play in the first inning. Overall, has been one of the SEC's best hitters so far in 2025. You see that 363 average. Top 10 in several categories in the Southeastern Conference. A 1-strike count as Bowker sends it in. First strike 2.
Hey, you want to talk about a baseball family. Aloy, obviously highly touted out of Sac State, All-American. His father, Jamie, actually played baseball at Hawaii. Was drafted in '99 by the San Francisco Giants.
Liner, right center field, will drop in. A one-out hit for Aloy, his first of the series. Arkansas has had base runners in every inning. So Aloy reaches here in the third. I thought it was a really interesting story that Coach Dave Van Horn told us about how Vahiva arrived at Arkansas, had come there on a visit and wasn't feeling well, and was going to go to the Cape and play, and then decided to go back home and see what was wrong physically, and ended up committing right there as they were talking to him in the airport.
Yeah, I think he'd been having some stomach issues throughout his entire freshman year at Sac State. And then finally was able to get it checked out. I think it was a gallbladder issue, but it's pretty amazing that to not be feeling well, than have the year that he did at Sacramento State.
He and his brother have hit home runs in the same inning twice this season. Popped up short left field. It's Rigdon. A few steps toward the line to make the catch, 2 outs. Aloy retreats to first, and Kahio Aloy will come to the plate, the cleanup man for Arkansas.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 25, Kahio Aloy.
Coach Van Horn told us that Kahio was a freshman at BYU as a pitcher, and they told him they needed him to hit, and ends up in the middle of the lineup, hit 7 or 8 home runs. It just worked out great. He ends up at Arkansas. He and his brother are roommates, and just was talking about what a great family they were and how these guys, they just been raised the right way and good dudes. Big part of the Arkansas program.
Yeah, they just play with such fun. I mean, it's a lot of freedom there at the plate. I mean, they take some big hacks.
Couldn't hold up 1-1.
Just really just play the game the way it's meant to be. And usually, the higher you get the college professional level, you kind of lose that innocence and that fun. And I think these guys do a really good job of having fun. I think it helps also having your brother out there, that it's just like you're in the backyard playing.
1-2, couldn't get the breaking pitch. Vahiva at first, Kahio at the plate. Bacher able to record a strikeout to end the second. Looking to do the same here in frame number 3. 1-2 pitch coming up. First to throw to first. Bacher on 1-2. Nicely done by Barzy to get to the backhand. Were you and your brother roommates?
No.
No?
No.
Would that have gone okay?
No, not that it would have been a bad thing, but I think, yeah, I mean, you live with someone for a while. I think Brian and I probably needed a little bit of a break.
Andrew needed his space. Here's...
It was probably more me than I think Brian would have been fine with it, but
right,
yeah,
right.
I definitely might have needed a little change up.
2-2 pitch to Aloy from Bacher. Laid off the breaking pitch away to run the count full. If he can reach, we'll see Iredale with 2 aboard. Runner on the move. It's ball 4. 2 base runners for the Razorbacks. Vahiva goes to second. Kahio down to first on the first walk issued by Cody Bacher. I always love it when we go to the Honolulu Scenic. Several players from distant places have found their way to Fayetteville to play for this Arkansas program.
And how about that 3 guys from Hawaii?
Uh-huh.
I think Dave Van Horn, that's a strategic recruiting spot. Maybe, yeah, add a couple extra dollars in the recruiting budget to stay a few nights in different spots.
Yeah, that's a tough recruiting trip. Fly ball foul off the bat of Iredale. He is the first Aussie-born player in Arkansas baseball history. A single and came home on the Cam Koziol home run 1 inning ago. Not like the Harris brothers where you just go down the street. Head over to NBA. 1-1 to Iredale, out of plate, ball and 2 strikes. He had a monster opening weekend to start off the season, 9 RBIs. Has kept on rolling from there, 41 entering the weekend. 1-2 pitch, 2-2. Bowker's trying to get these last couple hitters to chase, but Arkansas has laid off that breaking pitch away. Two with 2 outs and 2 on base. Very close, but ball 3. And a payoff pitch coming up to Iredale.
He tried to get the chase with the slider, then goes fastball. I think he's trying to spot it up in the outside corner, but just missed. But again, you got to make sure that you hit your spots with all these hitters.
Ball 4. Bases loaded, and here comes that man again, Cam Koziol, who has hit 3 home runs in 2 games. 3 of his 4 hits in this series have left the yard, including an opposite field home run last inning to get Arkansas on the board.
Yeah, not the guy you want up with bases loaded there, Kevin. You look at this series, going back to last night, the 4th inning, 2-run home run, 6th inning, solo home run, and then just a inning ago, still left the yard. Swinging a hot bat, I'd say.
Yes, he is. Swinging first pitch and fouls it off the railing.
And he's doing it to all sides. I mean, the 2 home runs yesterday were to the pull side and then went opposite field today.
Sophomore from Omaha with the bases loaded, and Arkansas leading by 2. A big rip comes up empty. A foul tip, 0-2. Back in the second, Koziol. Few rows up and left center for an opposite field 2-run blast. Bowker ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Run through it again. And on the hands, fouled away. Stays 0-2. Inning started with Avalon rolling out to second. Hit by Aloy. Fly out to left. Kahio Aloy and Brent Iredale with walks to load the bases. Over 1,100 feet of home runs in this series. Bowker, the 0-2 pitch, got him swinging. Big out for Vanderbilt as Bowker fans Koziol with the bases loaded. 2 big strikeouts today. 2-0 Arkansas in the 3rd in the Music City. Well, Broadway in downtown Nashville, that's a couple miles from here. Always a lot going on. One of America's great cities, Nashville, Tennessee. Arkansas leading Vanderbilt 2-0.
I always think, if I'm a fan, what a great series to travel to come to Nashville. You get to see some great baseball, but also, yeah, you mentioned a couple miles down the road, get to go down to Broadway, have some good food, maybe do some line dancing.
Yeah. You can walk there from here if you really have to, as the kids with the goalpost showed last fall. Here's Rustin Rigdon to start off the Vanderbilt 3rd. 8-9-1 for the Commodores. It'll be Rigdon, Mancini, and then back to the top for Jacob Humphrey against Gabe Gackel. So not only 1 base runner so far. That was a 1-out double by Mac Rose back in the 2nd. 2-0 the count to Rigdon. Starting lineup today for the 17th time The .308 batting average. Switch hitter takes a strike, 2-1. Pinch hit last night, got a base hit for a 4-for-5 night with a double and 2 knocked in, including a walk-off single in the midweek game. 3 balls and a strike.
And they knew that Rigdon can play the infield in the recruiting process, but the biggest thing for him was just his ability to hit from both sides of the plate, and so they grabbed him pretty early in the recruiting process.
Big hack on a 3-1 pitch. Count is full.
And in an era where a lot of guys are going out and getting, these big-time transfers, I mean, Tim Corbin's still hitting the freshmen pretty hard, and Brody Johnson, Reston Rigdon have some really bright futures.
Gackel battles back. He fans Rigdon on a fastball away, 1 out. Second strikeout recorded by the Arkansas right-hander.
It's a nice fastball here in the outside corner. And that's something that would be interesting to see with some of these young freshman hitters is, I've talked about it multiple times, but now we're, what, 3rd week into the SEC season, and there's a lot of data on these kids, and so how are you as a hitter going to make those adjustments and know, what your strengths and weaknesses are and how these different pitchers are going to come after you?
First pitch curve to Mike Mancini, the junior from New York. 0-for-2 with a walk last night in game 1. He transferred into the program after some outstanding work at James Madison, and comes into today's play with a .311 average, a home run and 10 knocked in. That homer was a grand slam. Ball and a strike as Gackel makes his way through this Vanderbilt batting order for the first time, 1-2. There's Dave Van Horn saying that Gackel just hasn't completely put it all together yet. The stuff is most definitely there. 1-2 coming up to Mancini. Line to center field. Commodores have their second hit. A 1-out single for the second baseman.
I think Gackel was trying to go with the changeup there and just left it over the plate and up in the zone a little more than he was hoping. Mancini was right on it.
Mancini 3-for-3 in steal attempts for a Vanderbilt lineup that has a lot of speed and been among the SEC leaders in stolen bases so far. Big lead for Mancini at first. Jacob Humphrey 0-for-1, ground out to third, his first time up. He's a very good bunter, and they had Iredale playing in close at third, hit it right to him back in the first inning. Long look in for Gackel before a 1-0 pitch to Humphrey. Another throw. We'll talk about the freshman players and Rigdon and Brody Johnston, but then you, at the other end of the experience spectrum, you have guys like Jacob Humphrey. This is his 170th career game today. A slider for a strike, 1-1.
And a good opportunity for the Commodores to start to get that offense rolling. This is an Arkansas team that you know is going to continue to put up some runs. So you got to find a way, if you're Vandy, to start getting in the game and get that goose egg off the board.
Fastball runs inside, 2 balls and a strike. And that's one thing Vanderbilt's been really good at this year. And Arkansas, you see a lot of power. For Vanderbilt, it's manufacturing runs.
Right.
It's using the speed and kind of keeping the line moving. Play Humphrey straight away in the outfield. Swing and a miss on a pitch down. Mancini on the run. Safe at second with a stolen base. Make it 4-for-4 here in 2025 for Mancini. Steals his way into scoring position with 1 out and a 2-2 count to Humphrey.
It looked like Mancini had a pretty good sized lead and also got a great jump. Had a good protection there from Humphrey on the swing. Able to get into scoring position.
A base hit. Sorry, Andrew.
No, say if you're Vandy, you got to find a way to get that goose egg off the board, and you got to feel like just find a way to do that. But man, nice spot there on the outside corner by Gackle. Take a look at this pitch here. Yeah, it was borderline, but a little punch out there from home plate umpire Brian Hale.
That is a tough one to get to for a right-handed batter as Gackle paints the outside edge to get Humphrey. 2 outs, Mancini at second for R.J. Austin, who's typically been really good in these 2-out situations. Slider for a strike. Fanned his first time up, 0 for 1. Trying to record his first hit of this series, 0 for 5. Nothing. Razorbacks lead. Straight back 0-2. Mancini dancing around out at second base before an 0-2 pitch to Austin. Goes the other way on a line, but right at Maxwell, who makes the catch to end the threat for Vanderbilt. R.J. Austin hit it hard. Arkansas maintains a 2-0 lead. We'll check in with Kayla when we come back.
The Huddle. It's a circle of trust. Here, big plans become big plays. Standing shoulder to shoulder, sharing an unbreakable bond. The Huddle is where confidence is forged and where the game is won. Financial confidence is built that way too, working together on your region's green print plan. Let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank.
A large touchscreen keeps everyone happy. The Subaru Crosstrek. Dog tested, dog approved.
Arkansas 2-0 over Vanderbilt. A Cam Kojal home run in the second inning, providing all the offense so far. Both these pitchers have been able to work around trouble as we move to the fourth inning. And again, we visit with Kayla Anderson. Kayla.
Hey guys, well, pitcher Alex Kranzler is in his second season with the Vandy boys, and while his focus is baseball, growing up he had a little hobby to go along with that. So he is from New Jersey, and he would take the subway all the way to New York City when he was just 10 years old. His mission, to get as many autographs as he could and to meet as many athletes as he could. So his dad would come pick him up after he got off work, and then his dad started to realize quite the collection that he had, getting into gear. And so he's met some of the best athletes in the world: Max Scherzer, Bryce Harper, and of course the late great Kobe Bryant, as you see the picture there, guys. He said it's not so much of a hobby now, but he's got a room full of those autographs, and when he gets a chance in the off season, he does find a way to get back out there and meet a couple new athletes.
That is pretty cool. That's pretty much a who's who of celebrity athletes, huh?
For sure.
Bottom of the order for Arkansas. They lead 2-0 over Vanderbilt, as Cody Bowker sends in the first pitch of this fourth inning to Ryder Helfrich, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. So for you two, are there any celebrity photos out there for you guys, for Andrew or Kayla?
Ooh, my best interview, I will tell you, of all time was when I was a baby broadcaster. I interviewed Charles Barkley, and he couldn't have been nicer. I asked him to do all these little promo things for my news station back there in little old Montgomery, Alabama, and he was a gem.
Yeah. So Chuck for Kayla.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, growing up, I was a huge Red Sox fan, which Doesn't make a lot of sense being born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, but if you're raised in Nashville, you either cheer for Cardinals, Braves, or the Reds, and I guess wanted to be different. But my dad took me to Fenway when I was 13, and I fell in love. And I was a huge Nomar Garciaparra fan. And so, I had made it my mission to get his autograph. And, being the astute marketer I was at age 13, I got a giant baseball. So when I was in line with all the other kids, it really stood out. And it worked. I got it. So
smart.
Yeah. So you got the Nomar autograph. Do you still have the giant baseball?
I do.
Nolan Souza with one out as Helfrich bounced out to Vastine at short. Souza 0 for 1 with a fly out to R.J. Austin his first time up. 2 balls and no strikes.
I'll tell you guys a little story real quick. I grew up in Spokane, Washington, the home of Ryan Sandberg, and he's actually his parents were my dad's godparents. So we grew up with a lot of Ryan Sandberg stuff, a ton of memorabilia. We've got a ton of cards and baseballs, and we actually have one of his retired jerseys as well. So that's kind of one claim to fame for baseball that I'm proud of.
Nice.
The Hall of Famer. Sandberg's been battling some health issues, but I think Ryan's doing better. Hit over to the right side. It's Mancini. A couple steps onto the grass. He throws out Souza for the second out. Tucker trying to get him 1-2-3 for the first time today. Go to work on Justin Thomas Jr., the center fielder.
And something to note here, Kevin, a little bit of rain coming in. The wind has really picked up, both in the infield and also the outfield. That center field flag is flying pretty good straight out. So these balls gets up in the air. You're probably going to continue to see some balls leave the yard.
Slider for a strike to Thomas. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Bunker fanned him with a man aboard back in the second after Arkansas had scored its 2 runs on the Kosel homer. Off the mid of Barzine to the backstop, 1-1. Bouncer. It's Mancini, the second baseman, playing out behind second with a long throw to retire Thomas on a nice play. 3 ground balls for Cody Bowker in the 4th inning. First clean frame turned in. Well defended, well positioned. Arkansas leads 2-0. Second-ranked Razorbacks leading the 14th-ranked Commodores 2-0. Bottom half of the 4th on the way. 3, 4, and 5 for Vanderbilt against right-hander Gabe Gackel. Not only 2 hits so far. These coaches have been unbelievable over the years. Coach Corbin and Coach Van Horn, the all-time greats in the Southeastern Conference, both with over 900 wins at their respective schools.
Yeah, I think we take for granted just every single game, especially in the SEC, we get to witness, big-time coaches with a ton of wins under their belt and the influence they've had on so many different players. I mean, just absolute legends on both sides of the ball. We kind of just come to the ballpark and we're like, oh yeah, it's just there they are.
Yeah, there's Coach Corbin and Coach Van Horn. Swing and a miss by Brody Johnston, 2-1. He is 0 for 1 with a bouncer back to the pitcher to close out the first. Back with a fastball, 2-2. We had fun visiting with Dave Van Horn this week and talking to him about this Arkansas team. About how the weekend rotation had taken shape and also this fantastic offense they've had as Johnson chases a pitch away. Brody is out number 1 in the 4th. Strikeout number 3 recorded by Gackel. Make it 4.
Yeah, with that good slider on the outside corner. Has some tight spin. Sometimes it's hard to pick up the spin, but it gets on top of you quick. It's not like a loopy sweeper that you have time to make an adjustment. You still got to pull the trigger pretty quick.
Riley Nelson 0 for 1, grounded out his first time up. One of the things I thought was interesting talking to Coach Van Horn was talking to him about playing in this ballpark. He said it's really kind of different from other places you play. It's not a lot of foul territory, as we know from doing a lot of games here, but the outfield was very big for the most part, except for left field. 2 balls and no strikes to Nelson with 1 out.
Yeah, he also talked about the turf and the speed of the turf and how it does play into the style of play for the Commodores.
310 down the line, but with the big wall in left field. 2 ball count to Nelson. Vanderbilt just trying to muster up some offense, having been shut out for the first 12 innings of this series so far. Limited to 3 hits last night, 2 in the first 3 frames today. Breaking pitch lands for strike 2, and now Arkansas with 2 strikes will bring Iredale over to the second base side. It was the hanger that just caught the strike zone. A 2-2 pitch to Nelson, back with a heater, 3-2. A long time since Arkansas has won a series in this ballpark, going back to 2010. The payoff to Nelson. Bounce foul.
We mentioned Gackel, more of a reliever, closer last year, just trying to extend him into that starting position this year. Getting up there, 58 pitches.
Payoff again to Nelson. Called, 3rd strike. That fastball is devastating. That's 5 Ks for Gackel, 2 outs for Vanderbilt in the 4th.
The 96 just spotted right there on the outside corner, maybe a little bit off the plate. Riley Nelson not too happy about it. But yeah, we were talking with Coach Van Horn about how that weekend rotation this year has taken shape. And they knew that going into this year, they wanted a couple extra starters. They wanted some lefties. So Beidelshees actually committed first, and then Zach Root, who pitched last night, said, he just kind of wanted to take a few more visits, and they weren't really sure they were going to get him, but they finally were, and didn't know what their role was going to be. They might have been relievers, but they both threw really well in the fall, and so you put Root first, and then Gackel, who they knew what they had coming back from this year, and then you put Beidelshees tomorrow. That's a good weekend rotation for Dave Van Horn.
And you score about a dozen runs every game. There's a liner, and jumping up to grab it, Aloy, the shortstop. Rose making a bid for his 2nd hit. Denied. Fahiva jumps up to make the play. Vanderbilt 3 up, 3 down in the 4th. 4 shutout frames turned in by Gabe Gackel. Arkansas leads 2-0 in Nashville. Calling the Hogs and staying out of the rain. Arkansas leading Vanderbilt 2-0 as we go to the 5th here at Hawkins Field. Kevin Ingram, Andrew Harris, Kayla Anderson, our producer Doug Stanton, our whole SEC Network crew. Top of the order, due up for the Razorbacks against Cody Bowker. Gave up a 2-run homer to Cam Kojul, but has worked around further damage. Has stranded 4 base runners, including the bases loaded in the 3rd. Charles Davalon feels like he's batted every inning. He is 1 for 2, a single in the 1st and a ground out his 2nd time up. Behind the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Game hit streak on base in 22 consecutive games. This Razorback offense has been outstanding. Close pitch, ball 1. And played at Florida Gulf Coast. Scored 66 runs last year. 2-2.
And you want to talk about a spark plug at the top of the order. This is the guy that's hitting .413. I mean, 7 home runs, so you know he's going to get on base, but can also hurt you with the power.
Bowker's 2-2. Called, third strike. Fastball has plenty of life on it. Davila didn't like the call. 1 out in the 5th.
Yeah, take a look at the movement on this thing. It starts off on the inside part of the plate, goes over the inner third. That was nasty.
It has been one of his most effective pitches as we've watched him throughout this season. Vahiva Aloy, 1 for 2. And make it 2 for 3. Lines a single to left. He just keeps on swinging the bat. Hit into a double play his first time, but 2 singles since then. On base with 1 out.
Yeah, Lloyd just a free swinger. Doesn't waste any time. Gets a pitch to hit. Wraps it right in that 6 hole.
He had to really stretch out to get to that ball and what a pull it to the left side. Logan Maxwell comes up 0 for 2. Entered the day at .387 with 7 home runs. Close pitch, ball 1. Good night for him last night. Who transferred from TCU. He was all Big 12 last season when he had .335. But OPS over 900. Foul ball makes it 1-1. A few raindrops here at Hawkins Field, but overall the conditions have been pretty good. As Andrew talked about, the wind definitely picked up in the last inning or so. 1-1 pitch. He takes some healthy rips. It's 1-2.
Yeah, 2 swings ago, Maxwell a little frustrated at his approach on the changeup away, but he looked like he was really dialed in on that fastball. Just the barrel couldn't get on top of it. Let's see what Bowker comes with here.
Aloy at first with 1 out and a 1-2 count. Draws the throw. Bowker, the junior from Maine. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vanderbilt has always found good players in the Northeast. Feels like having your head coach from New Hampshire certainly helps in that regard. Two fastball served down the left field line in the direction of Rigdon. We'll watch it climb out of play. Short lead at first for Aloy. Another 2-2 pitch. Count is full. You get to the point in the game where maybe you start to see some stirring in the Vanderbilt bullpen with that pitch count reaching close to 80 for Bowker. The payoff. Runner goes. Popped up. Right side. It's the first baseman, Nelson, coming in to make the catch. Aloy was about halfway and went back to first. 2 outs as Maxwell's retired for the 3rd time. Gahio Aloy will come up with Vahiva still at first.
A big second out there for Bowker. Especially with Maxwell swinging the bat as well as he is. That would get the pop up, missed hit. But now got to go right back to work with Aloy.
Line out to center and a walk in his 2 times up today. Outside for a ball.
Hey, Kevin, you mentioned the recruiting with Tim Corbin and up in the Northeast, and I feel like, yes, that's definitely true, but I feel like that used to be a lot more prevalent probably, 10 or so years ago. Is the ability for coaches to see players from all over the country with all these different showcases now. I mean, I feel like for a team like Texas, I mean, it used to be every single kid was from the state of Texas. Now,
or Florida, everybody from Florida,
exactly.
Right.
Now, I mean, just the entire country is at your disposal, and then with the transfer portal, I mean, you got guys from everywhere on every single team. So, yeah, the team makeups have really changed over the years, and I think, or you look at Arkansas, you look at Kahio Aloy from Hawaii. I mean, guys just able to kind of go wherever they want.
Bowker's 1-2 pitch. Hit hard, left side and through, a base hit. Rigdon gets in front of it. The Aloy brothers each with singles here in the 5th. The inning continues for Iredale with 2 aboard. Bowker trying to navigate this 5th inning, and we'll see Scott Brown come out for a mound visit with 2 on base. Iredale is singled in his only official time to the plate and has scored a run to go with a walk. But I think you're absolutely right. You know, we talk about players from the Northeast because the season is very different for high school ball up there. But you have so many other chances to play in other parts of the country where coaches can see you.
Yeah, but I do think that those relationships, you know, with those high school coaches in different parts of the area, different parts of the country, are super helpful because you're able to find out about players. You're not just relying on data and, you know, a showcase where you're only seeing, you know, a couple of swings and a couple of throws. You're relying on, hey, is this kid going to be a gamer? I want to talk to his coach. I actually want to see this kid play. There's a lot that goes into that recruiting process.
See, Alex Kranzler is starting to get loose down in the Vanderbilt bullpen. Hit toward left, Rigdon had him stationed just right. On 1 pitch, Bowker gets a big 3rd out. 2 hits and 2 left for the Razorbacks. Halfway done in game 2. Arkansas leading 2-0 over the Commodores. Arkansas 2-0 over Vanderbilt. Bottom half of the 5th coming up. All the runs on a Cam Koziel home run. Funnel cakes here at Hawkins Field. And let's bring in Kayla for this conversation. Where do you guys fall on funnel cakes?
Not a fan.
No.
I think it's a sad excuse for like a stale donut. I know it's a hot take, but although that one looked pretty good, I will say.
It had a lot of toppings and stuff going on. What about you, Kayla?
So I am more of like a churro girl.
Yeah?
So funnel cakes I can definitely do. I think the fair is the best setting for that, but churros count me in any day of the week.
Swing and a miss by Colin Barzy on the first pitch of the bottom half of the 5th. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. See, I used to not like funnel cakes that much, and I've come around on them in recent years. We always go to the Wilson County Fair, and they have outstanding fresh funnel cakes there, including there's a line drive off the bat of Barzy. Starts the 5th with a base hit. 3rd hit recorded by the Vandy boys. Leadoff single to begin the frame. But they also have the red velvet funnel cake with the icing on it.
Yeah, I mean that's another level of good. Yeah.
Count me in for that one, Kevin.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, if you come out to the Wilson County Fair, you guys, you can enjoy those.
All right.
So we'll see y'all out there in August. Jonathan Vastine, man on base. He lined out to left his first time up. Sends this one toward left field again. A long run and catch made as Davila got over there. Barzy has to retreat to first with 1 out.
A couple good swings from these Commodore hitters. That one struck well, but yeah, just right at the right side of Davila.
Rustin Rigdon a strikeout his first time up. I'll tell you why I didn't like funnel cakes after this first pitch. Or maybe a throw to first. So one year, about 20 years ago, I worked on the Nashville Predators broadcast, and the broadcast spot was right there on the concourse, and it was right next to the stand where they sold funnel cakes.
Oh, that'll get you.
And when I went home after every game, everything I had smelled like funnel cakes.
You probably didn't want to light a flame anywhere near you because you would have exploded with grease.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, it took a while for me to work around that. And
Ooh, that's tough. That's a valid reason.
It's like when you are, roasting marshmallows by the campfire. You love it, but you hate it.
Right,
because you can't get rid of that.
Yeah, you smell like smoke.
Yeah.
Pitch caught the corner, 1-1. I'm big on not smelling like food. That's kind of the bottom line to that story.
Bottom line.
Fair.
Rigdon with Barzy taking a short lead at first. Gacko will send a throw in that direction. Barzie's only attempted one steal and he's made it. One count here to Rigdon. Vanderbilt just trying to put something on the board, being held scoreless through the first game and a half of this series, losing 9-0 last night. 2-ball, 1-strike count. The switch hitting Vanderbilt outfielder who we saw at third base in the midweek game. Two and two as Gackel uses the heater. He has been effective today. He's not allowed to walk and has worked around only a couple base hits so far. Now they move from the bullpen into the starting rotation and he's had it all working today. Outside, full count.
Yeah, I think where he's only gotten in trouble and he's given up those hits is just when that ball has gotten elevated, and it's mostly been with the changeup. I mean, if he's been elevated with the fastball, it has so much velocity at 97 to 98. Not getting a lot of good swings on that, but yeah, that changeup is really where he's living it up.
Smack towards center. It's a base hit. Barzy was going on the play. He'll go first to third. Ball gets free of Thomas. Barzy comes all the way around to score, and Vanderbilt's on the board. The Commodores cut the deficit in half. That makes it 2-1. Rigdon ends up at second on the play.
Yeah, Rigdon inserted in that lineup back on Tuesday, had a good day. Tim Corbin said, all right, maybe we can throw him back in here today. And a nice piece of hitting. I think it's 94 down in the zone. Thomas, it looks like he just kind of took his eye off the ball right before he was going to grab it. A nice job by Barzy keeping his eyes up, looking at Tim Corbin. Looking back like, what in the world happened?
So a single for Rigdon. Barzy scores. The run is unearned with the error on the center fielder Thomas. Miscues in the field have been few and far between for both these teams. We talked about they are the top two defensive teams in the SEC in terms of fielding percentage and fewest errors. That's only the 13th all season for the Razorbacks.
Now batting the second baseman, number 5, Mike Mancini.
13 errors in 28 games. That is some very good fielding.
Yeah, it's very good.
Mike Mancini with a tying run in scoring position. Vanderbilt on the board here in the fifth. Mancini 1 for 1. A base hit and a stolen base. That was in the third. Rigdon leads at second. Out of play. Knocked in 10, 4 of those on a grand slam with a batting average at .326, including the hit today. Oh, and 2.
You see the reset there for Mancini. Had the foul ball, and then yeah, Gackel just spots up a fastball right there, 93 on the corner. 0-2. Got to protect here.
Gackel ahead in the count, looking for a big second out with a man at second base and a foul ball. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Head back to the top for Jacob Humphrey in just a moment.
Yeah, big AB right here. Commodores runner in scoring position, down by 1. Got the bottom of the order up. You got to think if he can find a way to get himself to first base with less than 2 outs and turn that order over to the top.
A check of the runner, another 0-2 pitch to the right side. Runner goes to third. Kojal smothers it, gets the flip in time to Gackel. They record the out of Mancini, 3-1, as Rigdon heads over to third base with 2 outs. A little bit of an adventure down there at first, but Kojal hung with the play and they got the out.
Yeah, with the rollover from Mancini, had some extra top spin. That's the beauty of first base. You block it, keep it in front of you, and have an extra time.
Jacob Humphrey 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. Fly ball foul. This is a new position for Kojal this season, playing first base.
Yeah.
Coach Van Horn told us that you asked him about playing first and said he set a first baseman's mitt on his desk, and when he came back, it was gone. Kojal had gone ahead and picked it up and said, yeah, good to go. Get to work. One strike count to Humphrey. Tying run 90 feet away as Rigdon takes his lead at third base. Fastball for strike 2.
And 95 on the inside corner. The 77 pitches, and the velo is still pretty much there.
0-2. Humphrey takes the ball away. One-two pitch coming up. Humphrey looked like he offered at it. He went around at strike 3. Ends the threat for the Commodores as Gackel gets the strikeout to close out the 5th. Humphrey not happy. Take another look. One more from the side. Vanderbilt gets a run on 2 hits. It was close. 1 error. 2-1. Commodores trail Arkansas.
The Huddle. It's where confidence is forged and the game is won.
That's a touchdown.
Financial confidence is built that way too with your Regions Green Print plan. So let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank.
Welcome to the start of the new year.
Coming out hard like 8 ball.
Nice and controlled.
Worry about yourself, nobody else.
We've been flying, that's so plain.
Keep grinding, Peloton.
Look at all.
I'm here with you, come on.
Get all these niggas that can't compete.
Walk in, out.
I be going hard.
That's the way you push through, baby. Proud of you.
Did you know our Jersey Mike's order came with a $25 Fanatics promo code? Insane deal. Awesome. Can we please turn it off while we're eating? Simon feels very attacked right now. Oh, he feels attacked.
My Mike's members score Fanatics gear, like Simon, just by spending $25 in the app.
Vanderbilt takes advantage of a fielding miscue to go with a couple hits and gets on the board against Arkansas. 2-1. The Razorbacks lead as we go to the top of the 6th. A close call to end that 5th inning with Jacob Humphrey called out on what appeared to be a check swing. It was really close and a pitch away from Gabe Gackel. But it was a strikeout that ended the inning and left the tying run 90 feet away. Vanderbilt to the pen for the first time today after 5 innings from Cody Bowker. Did a good job to keep Vanderbilt in the game. He'll turn it over to Sawyer Hawks. Makes appearance number 8. He has been excellent so far. That 1.42 ERA with 3 wins. He was key in the Game 1 win against Texas A&M last weekend. Got its 2nd save when he went 4 innings of 1 hit ball with 6 strikeouts. Good power stuff from Hawks.
Yeah, you look at the strikeout to walk ratio. I mean, 29 Ks to 5 walks. It's going to fill up that zone. Addition of a new slider this year, still has a good curveball. The biggest thing, talking with Scott Brown, the command has gotten a lot better too.
Battled injuries last season as Cam Kojal leads things off for Arkansas here in the 6th. It'll be Kojal, Helfrich, and Souza. Cam accounting for all the runs for Arkansas today after he accounted for 5 of the 9 last night. 2-run homer back in the 2nd, went the opposite way to the bleachers in left center. Rolled over to the right side. It's Mancini with a short throw. Retires Kojal to begin the 6th.
Finally able to keep Kojal on the ground.
Yeah, when he's put it in the play, it's been in the air and not always been catchable. Ryder Helfrich is the batter. Hit by a pitch in the 2nd, a ground out in the 4th. Mancini's been really solid at second base for Vanderbilt. Fastball from Hawks for a strike. Talk about Gackle and the power stuff he has. Hawks can really dial it up there too. Slider for strike 2.
Yeah, if Hawks has all of his pitches working, it's tough to adjust as a hitter. Mix up the speed, mix up the eye angle.
And he has shown the ability to give this team extended use out of the bullpen. We talked about those 4 innings against A&M, with 3 innings in the 2nd game against Auburn, and got that 3rd win a couple weeks back. One-two pitch just missed to the Arkansas catcher Helfrich. Foul tip, but Barzy can't hang on. Stays 2-2. Two again. Hawk sends it in. Big bouncer. That's a foul ball. Played by Johnston. You think back, Andrew, to last night's game. Walks were something that really hurt Vanderbilt, and that's not been the case too much for the Commodores this season. But 9 walks issued last night, and that was part of what got Vanderbilt into trouble in that game. 2 walks for the Razorbacks today.
Yeah, you get into SEC play, you give up some free bases, it's usually going to come back to bite you. A team that can play the cleanest ball, usually one that wins. Ooh.
Ooh. Count goes full. We have seen some close pitches in these last couple innings for sure. Barzy trying to bring it up a little bit. All your Hawks thought he had the strikeout. Payoff pitch to Helfrich with 1 out. Smoke to left, coming on is Rigdon to make the catch. Helfrich hit it right on the screws, but Rigdon comes in a couple steps, make the play, 2 outs.
That's a tough ball to handle, the one that is right at your eye angle. And 94 in there, just roped right at you, and especially for a guy who doesn't play a lot of outfield. Rigdon came in as a freshman, playing a lot of infield. But Tim Corbin trying to get as many bats in the lineup as possible. Throws Rigdon out there in left field, and he's been looking good.
Nolan Souza trying to start a new hit streak today after his 5-game string came to an end last night with an 0-for-3 evening. 0-for-2 this afternoon. Two gone in the 6th. The 2-1 game with Arkansas in front. That has not made very many visits to Hawkins Field over the years. Just remember the series a couple years ago. Vanderbilt took 2 out of 3 back in 2023. Pulled foul. That turned out to be the difference in the SEC regular season championship. 2-1 from Hawks. Fought off foul, 2-2.
And especially with the addition of a few more teams in the SEC with Texas and OU. You know, don't usually get to see every single team in the conference. When A&M came back, or came into town a few weeks ago, we were talking about how when they came into the conference, I guess it was 2013 with them in Missouri, it really, shook up the schedules, and it's just weird not having that consistency.
Swing and a miss. Hawks had Souza out in front. 3 up, 3 down for the Razorbacks. In the 6th inning, Vanderbilt leads 2-1. Game 2 here in Nashville. Razorbacks 2, Commodores 1. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Vandy boys. Great to have Kayla Anderson with us today, and she has some special guests in from the Cape, right, Kayla?
That is right. I'm really excited. I am speaking with Chris and Heather Smith. Obviously, you guys all know about summer ball. Our great director, Doug Statton, and of course, Andrew Harris put this together this past year. It really puts a highlight on the Cape Cod League, and you guys specifically have hosted some Vandy boys. Most recently, Braden Holcomb, and of course, former Vandy boy, and now Arkansas Razorback, Cam Kojal. What's brought you guys here today?
Just the whole experience. We wanted to be able to see both of the boys, and we just enjoy coming down south and seeing everything.
It's got to be hard, though, when you have a split roster here today with Kojal on the Arkansas side and, of course, Holcomb over here on the Vandy boys side.
We did come with the Vandy gear on.
And the Born Braves.
And the Born Braves.
You sure did.
And we also hosted Alan Espinal and Jonathan Bastine.
What got you guys into being a host family? Because I'm always intrigued by that. It's got to be something you look so much forward to every year.
I guess the love of baseball, really. Yeah. We just love baseball. And there's nothing better than down on the Cape in the summertime. It's just,
Yeah, and just having kids, young kids ourselves, who have now grown up through the system with the baseball in school and everything. And then our son went off to college and he couldn't play baseball anymore. And, we still went to the Born Braves all the time and got to see the baseball, and our friends got us into asking us to do hosting. So we said, all right, let's give it a shot.
It's got to be so rewarding, you guys, too, because you get to know these young men, obviously, not just as baseball players, but how they are off the field. And I probably would guess that a lot of these Vandy boys have been really big parts of your life ever since.
Yeah, that was the attraction to Vandy. When we had Alan, he told us about the program, and that was it. We were like Vandy all the way. Yeah. That was it.
So,
sorry, Cam.
Yeah, is that right? Sorry, Cam. We pretty much have found a favorite here. And just in terms of the Cape Cod League, which people, if they don't know, these guys are going to get better. It prepares them for this season. What is the environment, the community like? Because they support all of these guys that come here and play.
Very much so. You see it from the school systems and the kids from the schools, and they just want to see great baseball, and then of course the parents, and then it leads down out to the local businesses, and then it just one thing after another, and it's just so wonderful. And then when you're down on the Cape, you get to visit all the other fields and experience what they have down there, and it's just great. Nothing better.
Well, we're so excited to have you here in Nashville. I do have to ask you, what have you guys done since you've been here? Because you make one trip a year, so real quick. Any things that you had to hit?
So we were told to go to Red's Hot Chicken.
Yes.
But we sissied out and went with the medium.
That's okay. You made it here today, and that's all that counts, right? Well, thank you so much, Chris and Heather, and we're excited for you guys in terms of who you host next and your next trip back here next year.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you so much.
Guys.
All right, great stuff. Thanks, Kayla. In from Bourne and watching some of their players perform here today. Swing and a miss. Brody Johnston is out on strikes. Saw a leadoff single by R.J. Austin. He recorded an infield hit. Now a strikeout of Johnston, one out here in the 6th in a one-run game.
It's a nice little slider there in the outside corner. Yeah, Johnson, again, came in highly touted, has had a great year so far, and we're getting deeper in the SEC schedule. He's going to be a guy that these pitchers are really circling, and he's not going to get a lot of straight stuff, going to get a lot of off speed, so he's got to find a way to adjust to that.
You're not going to see a lot of fastballs right down the middle, that's for sure. Quick mound visit here before Riley Nelson steps in.
Yeah, so great to have the Smiths on and hear about their experience hosting a number of Vandy players. And I was actually up there right when, I think it was probably a week after Cam Kojal had made that decision to go to Arkansas. So I mean, that's a family that is right in the middle of those decisions. You know, they're up there, they're playing, they're making decisions whether they're going to stay or go into the portal. It's definitely a different type of experience in the summer for a lot of these different players.
One ball count to Nelson. Arkansas plays him a little bit over toward the right as Austin draws the throw. Now, were they one of the families that had like the special meal when a player had a big game with the steaks or pork chops or whatever
it was a tomahawk steak.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The Smiths actually started it. Any player that hit a home run, they get a lobster. But it turned out that a lot of the players, especially from the South and the SEC, not too hot on the lobster, and so they said, "Oh, we're probably going to be safe with the steak." So yeah, any player that hits a home run that they're hosting, they give a tomahawk steak. So I talked with them earlier this morning, and they said, "Yeah, we're probably going to have to send a couple to Cam for hitting those two."
1-1 pitch out of play. Ball and 2 strikes here to Nelson. You hit 2 home runs, you get like a surf and turf.
I would imagine you probably get something. I don't even know what that is.
Well, there it is. Summer Ball Cape Cod. Our crew did an amazing job, led by Andrew and Doug, and sent the crew up there last year. It's 3 parts, half hour each, and it is really fun.
It's just really cool to see all these players interacting with each other and playing against each other, because right now you've got Vandy and Arkansas. These are 2 teams that are going at it hard. But then you get up in the summer and you're playing with these guys. I mean, you look at, for Arkansas, look at Cam and RJ. I mean, Cam, played up at Bourne. RJ played at YD. And then on the same team last year, there's a number of guys.
Austin on the move. Souza with a nice play to throw out Nelson at first. Diving stop. That kept R.J. Austin from going first to third. For a second out of the 6th inning. Austin in scoring position, carrying the tying run.
Yeah, the runner in motion, able to stay at that second base bag. Souza, nice job keeping that ball in the infield and getting that out.
This may be it for Gackel, who has been excellent today for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, but going back to talking about the different teams up in Cape Cod, you look at Ryder Helfrich. He played up at Brewster, and he played with Luke Guth and J.D. Rogers and Levi Huseman for the Commodores. So these guys just kind of mix and mingle with each other in the off season, and then they play against each other. So there's just a lot of familiarity and a lot of friendship that still goes on in the off season. And right once you get back into the school ball, you kind of got to turn it back on into that competitive mode.
Gackel will stay in to face Mac Rose. 2 outs, tying run at second. Arkansas leading 2-1 here in the 6th. Rose a double in the second and had a hit taken away on a line drive, and Aloy made a nice play on at shortstop. 1 for 2. Off the catcher's mitt, Austin heads to third, slides in to move that tying run within 90 feet. A wild pitch. That might be a pass ball. It looked like it just went off the mitt. Rose trying to deliver that run, and he does. Base hit to center. This game tied at 2. RBI single by Rose. Brings home Austin. The Commodores trailed 2-0 early. Single runs in the 5th and the 6th. All even.
I talked about it in Rose's first at bat. And he's a guy you love having in the middle of the order. He's going to find a way to put the bat on the ball, and does it just there in a big spot with 2 outs. Right back up the middle. Commodores able to put one more across, tie this thing up.
Rose will be the last man that Gackle faces here in the 6th inning as Dave Van Horn is out of the dugout. Overall, he was really good. Razorbacks go to the pen. Game back where it started, tied at 2. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back to Nashville. Hard-throwing right-hander Gabe Gackle, excellent. Making his way into the 6th inning here in Nashville. 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, no walks. Threw 92 pitches and really did a good job of making his way through this game. And Vanderbilt has rallied to come back and tie a single by Back Rose to get the Commodores back even. Responsible for Rose down at first base as he heads to the dugout. But overall, Andrew, really good today.
Yeah, I think he's got to be happy with that performance. I mean, the fastball was really working, up in the zone, and then the good slider working too. And it really kept those guys off balance. It's just this inning, Commodore is able to string a few across.
Another hard thrower in for the Razorbacks is Carson Wiggins, the freshman, making appearance number 8. He is an Oklahoma native. Last appeared in the 3rd game of the series against South Carolina last weekend. 1 inning of 1 hit ball. He starts off Colin Barzy with a slider for strike 1.
Yeah, even though Wiggins is a freshman, you're going to see some velo. I mean, that was an 87-mile-an-hour slider, but yeah, that fastball is high 90s, even touching 100.
There it was, up the middle. The short way as Aloy goes to Sousa. They retire Rose at second. But Vanderbilt ties the game. Barzy with a ground out, a run on 2 hits, even at 2 as we head to the 7th. Well, as part of the Vandy United construction, they built a new brick wall out beyond the center field fence, and it looks like a great place to watch a game. Commodores and Razorbacks tied at 2 as we go to the 7th. Arkansas with a 2-run homer by Cam Koshel in the 2nd. Single runs for the Commodores in the 5th and the 6th. Mac Rose with an RBI single to get the Vandy boys back even. 9-1-2 coming up for Arkansas. Justin Thomas Jr. followed by Charles Davallon and Vahiva Aloy. Thomas 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out as he faces Sawyer Hawks for the first time. Thomas had a hit in last night's game. Began his career at Georgia, swing and a miss, 1-1. Spent some time at Florida Southwestern State after playing for the Bulldogs. Couldn't lay off the slider, 1-2. Fun series here in Nashville. Second-ranked Razorbacks, number 14 Commodores. Been 2 of the SEC's best programs for a long time. Legendary coaches at the helm. Hawks into the wide for the 1-2 pitch. Fly ball deep left field. Rigdon at the warning track, and Arkansas has regained the lead on a long home run off the bat of Justin Thomas Jr. That makes it 3-2. Home run number 4 for number 4.
Yeah, right out of a hand. That was a hanger. And you do that against a really good team and a really good hitter, that's what's going to happen. The ball went a long way.
Made it up onto the landing beneath the scoreboard in left field. A no-doubter. First hit of the day. Big swing for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, you're going to throw that pitch. Got to get it down in the zone. Nice swing there by Thomas. Man.
Second home run of the day for Arkansas. All their runs coming on the long ball. Back to the top for Davalon. He is 1 for 3. Big hack out of play. Ball and a strike. Signal in the first was erased on a double play. A ground ball in the third and a strikeout looking in the fifth. Cody Bowker went the first 5. It's been Sawyer Hawks since then. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th, but a leadoff home run by Thomas in the 7th. 1-2.
You know, we always say, came out of his shoes. He almost came out of his helmet there.
Now towards center on a line. Chases Austin back a couple steps to make the catch. 1 out. Davalon retired. Here's Vahiva Aloy. Held off base last night, but 2 hits today. 2 for 3. The outstanding Arkansas shortstop takes a strike. We're the preseason watch list for the Golden Spikes Award after being all conference in the SEC in 2024. Started to offer to pitch away, 1-1. Like the Air Jordan patterned arm sleeve. That's pretty cool. Break even pitch from Hawks. Smack towards center again. It's Austin right there to make the play. A couple hard hit balls after the home run. 2 outs for Logan Maxwell.
I think the game of college baseball has just changed so much in the last 10 years. The time of the 2-0 game or the low scoring are pretty much over with. So yeah, for this game to be 3-2 here in the 7th is just a testament to the pitching, but also as an offense, you got to always be scoring runs because the offenses are so potent these days, and both these guys or both these teams can put up some serious numbers.
A lot of power in terms of hitting and pitching as Sawyer Hawks delivers a strike. 1-1. Maxwell 0 for 3. 2 pop-ups and a fly out to left. It's 3 times up. Out towards short. Fast 9 with a backhand and a long throw. Dug out nicely by Nelson at first. 6-3 to close out the 7th. We move to the stretch. Arkansas has regained the lead. Justin Thomas Jr. leaves the building. 3-2 Razorbacks at stretch time. Three to 2 Arkansas here in the bottom of the 7th. Vanderbilt has had some chances today, but Gabe Gackel and Carson Wiggins have done a good job. Commodores have stranded 4 men. They've hit the ball hard, not a lot to show for you. You see R.J. Austin right there. Back in the 5th, the runner at 3rd, and a little controversy there in that strikeout of Jacob Humphrey. Vanderbilt had put a run on the board. Vanderbilt coming back to tie the game on a single by Mac Rose to bring home R.J. Austin, frame number 6.
That's why these games are so fun to watch as a fan, because it really is a game of inches. I mean, a couple of those balls are hit a little bit higher or lower on the barrel, not right at either the left fielder or the right fielder. Those balls are down, and this is a totally different ball game. The controversy with Humphrey going around, maybe he held up, maybe he didn't. Just the margin of error in these SEC games are so small.
Fastball climbing up to triple digits for Carson Wiggins, the right-hander. Vastine 0 for 2. 1 ball, 2 strike count starting the 7th. Some serious gas.
That's 101.
The veteran shortstop Vastine at the plate. Looking for his first hit of the afternoon.
Oh.
Peel to 3rd, didn't go. Full count.
That's so hard. I mean, you're dialed up for 101, and then you get 91 slider on the inside corner. That is hard to have a split rhythm there.
The payoff to Vastine. Do it again. Yeah, you want to be on time for the fastball, but then you got to adjust, and it is tough. The payoff again, coming up to Vastine. Ball 4, takes a slider up. At 91, Vastine heads to first with a leadoff walk. The first base on balls issued today by Arkansas pitching.
Heck of an at-bat there by Vastine. That's what you want out of your senior. He's able to grind, fouled off a good pitch, forcing Wiggins to go back to the slider, and he couldn't locate it. Able to take first base.
Here is Rigdon. He is 1 for 2. Strikeout in the third, then a single in the fifth. It ended up producing a run after an error by the center fielder Thomas, who atoned for that with a long home run in the top half of the 7th inning. Tying run at first for Vanderbilt in a close game, 3-2. Vastine bluffs going. Slider finds the plate for strike 2. Pinch single for Rigdon last night in the starting lineup today here in game 2. Vastine goes, pitch inside for a ball. He makes it without a throw. Vastine steals his way into scoring position, now 3 for 3 on the season. The count 1-2 to Rigdon.
Yeah, it looked like Vastine, again, got a good lead and then really good jump. And going on the off speed too, give him a couple extra seconds.
Rigdon out on strikes. Couldn't get the heater.
A great pitch. You saw Rigdon slap his bat out there trying to get a piece of it. Wasn't able to. Or I think he might have. I think he might have fouled it off, but Helfrich, the catcher, hanging on to it. He had 99 on the corner. That was tough to make some contact with.
Goodness. That is a tough pitch. A little arm side run on it. Here's Mancini with the man at second and now 1 out. 1 for 2 for Mancini. Inside ball 1.
I mean, seeing 100 to 101 in the batter's box. I mean, if you see it multiple times, I mean, it gets a little bit easier, but man, it looks like just a blur. I mean, it is so hard to pick up anything on the ball. It's just like a streak coming in there. You kind of just got to point to a spot and say, I hope it's in there, and throw your bat at it.
Hope you guess right. You hear it more than you see it.
You really do.
Pitch for ball 2.
The first time I ever saw 100 was standing in as a freshman facing Sonny Gray. And most likely, I think I struck out and went back and said, well, I don't know what just happened. I don't know what I saw, but I didn't see anything, so.
Was that in high school or in college?
That was in college. That was in college. I did face him in high school. He wasn't throwing 100. He was still throwing about 93, but which looked like 100 to a 16-year-old.
2-1 here. Comes back with a slider. Wiggins does. Mancini takes for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes with Vastine at second. Thomas shaded a little toward left center. Mancini out of play, stays 2-2. You had Gackel, who found the mid to upper 90s with a heater, and then you have Carson Wiggins, who can hit triple figures. Checking the runner in the 2-2. Close, but ball 3. Tried to go backdoor with that slider. It was close. Now a full count to Mancini.
Yeah, tried to sneak it here on the outside corner. Just wasn't able to get that extra snap on it. Nice job by Mancini, not chasing.
The payoff. Pulled down to first. Snagged by Kojal. Takes it himself. Goes to the back for the second out as Vastine goes to third. The tying run, I should say, again, 90 feet away for the Commodores.
You know, off the bat, I thought that was going to sneak by Kojal, but then I looked up and Kojal was playing pretty far towards the line. Just hugging it, making sure that that double didn't happen. So nice job by Arkansas positioning their defenders in the right spot.
Here is Humphrey, always handles the bat well. Goes to the backstop, game tied again. Vastine in to score to make it 3-3.
Well, that one wasn't on my bingo card right there. Yeah, that fastball just got away from Wiggins. Right behind the head of Humphrey. And this is a tough park to get home on. I mean, there's not a lot of foul territory, not a lot of territory behind home plate. So nice job by Jonathan Vastine being on the lookout and grabbing that home plate.
So Vanderbilt gets the run without a base hit. A walk, a stolen base, a ground out, and a wild pitch to manufacture a run. Humphrey 0 for 3. 2-0 from Wiggins. There's a strike. And sometimes, especially on a fastball that hits that padding, it'll come right back to the catcher. 2-2. Humphrey looking for his first hit of the afternoon, and a 2-2 pitch coming up from Wiggins. Just got a piece to stay alive. Humphrey back in. High for ball 3. Payoff with 2 outs. Wiggins sends it in. It's ball 4. Some of the Arkansas guys that take it a step toward the dugout. Instead, Humphrey steps down toward first base, and R.J. Austin comes to the plate.
Yeah, Helfrich wanted it. It looked like a little bit off the plate.
From the first base dugout comes Coach Dave Van Horn. Each team with a run in the 7th, tied at 3. Carson Wiggins walked Vastine to start the inning. Talked about Vanderbilt manufacturing runs. All of Arkansas's runs on homers today. Vanderbilt using a wild pitch, a 2-out RBI single by Mac Rose, and taking advantage of an error for its 3 tallies as Wiggins heads off, and Arkansas heads back to the bullpen with 2 outs here in the 7th. Razorbacks and Commodores all even here in Nashville. Game 2 coming right back to the Music City. Vanderbilt and Arkansas all even at 3 here in the 7th. Aiden Jimenez is the 3rd pitcher used by Coach Dave Van Horn, a sophomore from Elk Grove, California. He has been very effective out of the bullpen. Appearance number 9, 2-0 record with a save. He was in the game last night and retired the only man he faced. Guy who redshirted last season at Oregon State with an injury. After appearing in 22 games in Corvallis back in 2023. He will face R.J. Austin with Jacob Humphrey at first and 2 outs. R.J. 1 for 3 as he makes his way toward the plate. It's been a tight game. Arkansas jumping in front early on a 2-run homer by Cam Koziel. Vanderbilt clawing back to tie. Thomas with a homer in the top of this inning, and Vanderbilt again with an answer. Humphrey goes in the first pitch. It's up and in. He steals second easily into scoring position. Humphrey now 12 of 13 on the season with that steal.
Yeah, Humphrey, it didn't look like they have a huge lead, but a guy that has some serious wheels. Try to get a little protection from his buddy and R.J. Austin.
We've noticed it a lot with Humphrey this season. He'll go on the first move.
Yeah.
Good speed at second. Vanderbilt trying to take the lead for the first time today with Austin at the plate. Infield hit, scored a run in the 6th. Go with a line out and a strikeout. 1 ball count. There's a strike.
Yeah, let's good look at the fastball for Jimenez. 95, but a lot of good arm side run to it. And he's going to pound the zone with that. He also has a good sweeper of the slider, but really going to rely on that fastball with all that movement.
Break-even pitch. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike to Austin. Jimenez, his father played in the big leagues with Tampa Bay and Detroit. His grandfather pitched for the Chicago White Sox. Austin takes strike 2. So we got the slider at 88 to even the count. Go ahead run at second. Arkansas trying to get to the dugout with a game tied at 3. Austin towards center. Will hang up long enough for Thomas to get there. Jimenez does a good job. Keep Vanderbilt from taking the lead. Gets Austin to fly out. 3-3 as the Commodores get back even as we head to the 8th. Have a little snack, watch some baseball. All right, I'm done. Shut it down. Vanderbilt and Arkansas tied at 3. Razorbacks led 2 different times today. Vanderbilt has battled back all the runs for Arkansas on home runs. Koziel and Thomas. Vanderbilt has manufactured runs. Good starting pitching for both sides. Gackle for the Hogs. Balker for the Doors. We have seen some hard throwers out of the bullpens for both teams. Sawyer Hawks will pitch to the middle of the batting order for Arkansas. Kahio Aloy, Brent Iredale, and Cam Koziel. The top half of this 8th inning, game 2. It's that pivotal game in a weekend series. Smash toward right center field. R.J. Austin coming on. He got it. What a play.
Wow.
Great speed. Austin goes to the deck to take away a hit from Aloy. 1 out.
I thought that was down 100%. But R.J. Austin said, no, sir, take a look. Great first step. Covers so much ground. Lays out. The heck of a job by R.J. Austin.
Terrific play. Play him all over the place. As Austin records the out of Aloy. Here's Iredale.
And you can see how much it means to him. And this is a, you mentioned, Kevin, pivotal game and a pivotal time in the game for this entire series.
You figure that ball gets down. It's 1 and maybe 2 for Aloy as Iredale bats. He's been on base twice. Single and scored in the 2nd on the home run and walked in the 3rd to go with a fly out in the 5th.
Because if you're Arkansas, you won very easily last night. You come in here, this is a hard-fought game. If you're able to go away tonight I mean, you get the series, but also you kind of take the wind out of the sails of Vanderbilt just because of the hard-fought game today. But if you're Vandy, you're able to find a way to get this game. I mean, you got some good momentum going into tomorrow. So the next 2 innings are super important for both these teams.
Boy, plate umpire Brian Hale, I thought he might flinch a little there, but instead it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Iredale, the third baseman. Got him swinging. Hawks the fastball away to retire the Arkansas third baseman for the second out.
A great fastball right here in the outside corner. Just spotted. Iredale just not able to have enough barrel to grab it.
2 strikeouts for Hawks, 5 for Vanderbilt pitching today. Cam Koschel back in a ballpark where he played as a Vanderbilt Commodore last season and has homered 3 times in this series. Pitch bounces up there. He's 1 for 3 today, a 2-run shot in the second. A strikeout and a ground out since then. 3 of those 5 home runs in this series. Smoked, but right at fast eye. Goes to a knee to make the catch. 3 up, 3 down for Arkansas against right-hander Sawyer Hawks, tied at 3 in the 8th. Tight game here in Nashville, 3-3. Second-ranked Arkansas, number 14 Vanderbilt. The Sweet Caroline sing-along, always with one of our producer Doug Stanton's favorite parts of every game here at the Hawk. Had a little bit of rain, but the weather's been, for the most part, pretty good today. A shower or 2 have passed through. It'll be Brody Johnston, Riley Nelson, Mac Rose against Aiden Jimenez. Jimenez faced 1 batter in the 7th. He got R.J. Austin to fly out to avoid further damage with Jacob Humphrey at second after Vanderbilt had manufactured a run. Johnston 0 for 3. Been a rare thing for him. Right on that pitch and fouls it back, 0-2.
Yeah, with the spinning rain, especially on this turf, as an infielder, you get that ball, you gotta make sure you get some good grip behind it and get those fingers behind it, because it can be super wet with the turf, because the water doesn't necessarily go into the ground. It just kind of stays right on top of the turf there. So you get a ball on the ground and it's just like a water balloon, but essentially. But a good option as a hitter. You find a way to get the ball on the ground, make the infield, make some good throws.
1-2, and Johnston is out on strikes. Pulled the string with a breaking pitch. 0 for 4 day for Johnston, 1 out in the 8th.
Yeah, you looked at the frustration there from Johnson. It looked like he was on time for it, just wasn't able to put a barrel on it. Nice executed pitch there from Jimenez.
9 strikeouts recorded by Arkansas pitching today. Here is Riley Nelson.
Ooh.
Big swing on the first offering, out of play.
I don't think he was looking for a single there, Kevin.
No, he wasn't. He has hit some key home runs. Only 2 homers, but they were both big. A 3-run shot to cap the deciding inning as Vanderbilt swept A&M last weekend. 1 out in Arizona at the start of the season. Jimenez delivers strike 2. Hard slider finds the zone. Nelson behind in the count, 0-2 with 1 out. They put the shift on. Nelson fouls it out of play. There you go. Nobody home over at third base with Iredale shifted over to the right side. Tip Corbin talked about earlier the week how they have found out how good Nelson is at hitting the ball the other way, but a lot of the time you'll see this is how he's defended. They pitch him that way, pitch inside. Ball on 2 strikes.
That was a great spot. I mean, it was a ball, but 95 in underneath the hands. Now you kind of get Nelson thinking, okay, I can't just really sell out to that fastball away. I could still got to think about that thing coming inside, so you get in the head of the hitter a little bit.
1-2, foul to the screen. A little 8th inning battle going on. Aiden Jimenez, the right-hander for Arkansas. Riley Nelson, the Commodore first baseman. Another 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. 2 outs in the Vanderbilt 8th for Mac Rose.
It's a great changeup there, especially after backing up with the fastball and then the slider. And then his third pitch. It's Nelson to chase it.
Good day for Mac Rose. Sorry, Andrew.
No, we've seen some good battles. I mean, just as a team, but also these individual pitcher-hitter battles have been really good today.
Double for Rose and an RBI single. Go with a line out to short. Iredale back in his more familiar spot, playing even with the bag at third. 1-1. There's Iredale, the Arkansas third baseman. Moved him around as they've employed the shift. Jimenez ready for a break-even pitch. Rose swinging, foul ball. 9-0 wipeout for the Razorbacks last night. Take game 1. Vanderbilt trying to even the series, tied at 3 here in the 8th. Hogs will have the bottom of the batting order coming up in the 9th. Tight game with a big crowd here at the Hawk. Downstairs, 2-2.
It was the exact same pitch that he was able to get out. Riley Nelson on the batter before, but nice job by Mac Rose laying off. So he comes back with the fastball.
He does, but misses away. It's 3-2. Payoff. Foul ball. Rose in the DH spot. You'll see behind the plate Ian Barzi, who is waiting to bat next. Vanderbilt hopes in this inning. Another payoff due to Rose. Here it comes. Rolled over, foul. Ty Blankmeyer, the Vanderbilt first base coach, makes the play. The battle continues. Another payoff with 2 outs in the 8th. Swing and a missed. Jimenez, 3 up, 3 down in the 8th, all on strikeouts. Gets the Commodores 1, 2, 3. We're on to the 9th. Tie game, Razorbacks and Commodores. Well, it's been a good ball game here today. Arkansas and Vanderbilt all even at 3 as we go to the top of the 9th. Razorbacks trying to take the series. Vanderbilt trying to get even. All the Arkansas runs on homers. Cam Kojal and Justin Thomas Jr. Vanderbilt scratching out 3 runs, including an RBI single by Mac Rose. Ryder Helfrich, Nolan Souza, Justin Thomas Jr. here in the 9th against right-hander Sawyer Hawks, who entered the game in the 6th. Another good effort and long relief today. Fastball strike to Helfrich, who is 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch in the 2nd. up high, 1-1. Razorbacks at 6-1 in SEC play, 24-3 overall. Vanderbilt 20-6, 4-3 in the conference through 7 games. Playing weekend number 3, pulled foul and a breaking pitch. Bobby Wernes, the third base coach, was ducking for cover. One ball, 2 strike count. It's Hawks, it's Helfrich. Bounced up there. Leadoff man here in the 9th. Close game between terrific programs. 2-2 pitch. A pitch count, see there, low 40s for Sawyer Hawks. This feels like every weekend he'll go in one of these spots and give you 3 or 4 good innings. He's done that again today. 2-2 again. Swing and a miss on a pitch up. He fans Helfrich to start the 9th.
Yeah, well executed up in the zone, 92. Helfrich on go with 2 strikes and just couldn't hold up. Saw the frustration there from Helfrich. That's such a hard ball to hold off of, especially with those 2 strikes out of the hand. It looks like it's coming right in the zone, but it stays up there, and by the time you make that swing to it, you can't get to it.
Hawk starts off Nolan Souza, the second baseman, with a slider for a ball. 0 for 3, a fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout for Souza today. Talk about Arkansas hitters not getting cheated. A big rip, 1-1. Couldn't get the fastball. Trying to drop in a slider. Instead, it's 2 balls and a strike. After Souza's done, we'll see Justin Thomas, who's hit one of those home runs today for Arkansas. Two and 2. Hawks to the plate. Smash. Played by the Commodores and out at first. That was Brody Johnston, who was overplaying to the other side of second base in the shift. So 5 on the 5-3 on the putout as Souza's retired, 2 outs in the 9th.
Yeah, if they were playing in normal positions, that's a hit all day. But kudos to the Vanderbilt coaching staff and moving Johnston over there. Hit right at him and 2 down, here we go.
Thomas, check swing foul. Go back to the 7th. He hit his 4th home run to give Arkansas the lead. There are the numbers on that homer, who went a long way to the landing beneath the scoreboard in left field. 1 strike pitch from Hawks. That's been the only run he has allowed off the plate, 1-1. In fact, that's been the only hit he has allowed. The shift on the left side of the infield. The 1 ball, 1 strike count to Thomas. Well, Bardsey tried to bring it up. 2 balls and a strike. Go back to the top for Davalon. Thomas can reach. See what Hawks has done. Really effective. Breaking pitch lands, 2 and 2.
Good look at the slider there. I think might see that fastball up in the zone, the same one that he got Ryder Helfrich out on.
2-2 with 2 outs. Pop foul.
Yeah, he tried to. He didn't get it up as high as he wanted. It was a little too close for comfort, especially on a guy who left the yard last AB.
Another 2-2 pitch. Hawks and Thomas doing battle in the 9th inning. Full count. The payoff. It is ball 4 on a close pitch. Thomas to first. A 2-out base runner for the Razorbacks.
They tried to go for the low strike here. I think it might have been a little low.
Yeah, I think that was ball
Barzy did a nice job bringing it up.
Yep, agreed. Thomas at first. He's 4 for 7 in steal attempts. He has been the only man that's been able to reach against Sawyer Hawks. Charles Davallon is 1 out of 4. He singled to start the day, but has been retired on a ground out, a strikeout, and a line out since then. Throw to first. Razorbacks have led a couple different times today. The Cam Kosial home run in the 2nd, the homer by Thomas, a solo shot in the 7th. Vanderbilt has responded. Hogs trying to regain the lead here in the 9th. Slider up and in for ball 1. Short lead for Thomas at first. Hit towards center and deep. It's Austin. He adds a play. Got it. Line out by Davallon to the deepest part of the yard. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Vanderbilt will try to come up with a run and win it 3-3 here in Nashville. Good game here in Nashville. Bottom of the 9th coming up, 3-3. Number 2 Razorbacks, number 14 Commodores. Hayden Jimenez has retired the only 4 he has faced, 3 of them on strikeouts. Colin Barzy, Jonathan Vastine, Rustin Rigdon for the Vandy boys in the 9th. Big swing by Barzy and a foul ball. Kevin Ingram, Andrew Harris, Kayla Anderson, Doug Stanton, our whole crew. Good ball game today. Arkansas won 9-0 last night. Vanderbilt trying to claw back and even the series. Game 3 coming up on Sunday. Barzy 1 out of 3 with a run scored. Hit to the left side. Back in the hole. Aloy out at first. What a play. The jump throw to get Barzy. But a star next to that one. Behiva Aloy. Fantastic to start the 9th.
Unbelievable play. Gets a good first jump. Backhands it. Has the arm strength to make the jump throw. I mean, that was big league right there.
That was impressive. Vastine with 1 out.
He gets a lot of credit for his bat, but he plays a really good shortstop too, and that was a perfect example of that.
Vastine 0 for 2. A walk, stole a base, scored on a wild pitch in the 7th to get Vanderbilt even. Big swing, 1-1. It always amazes me, people who can make that play, you see shortstops, how much they can get on that throw, on that jump throw.
Yeah, usually you see guys, especially on the turf field, will kind of lay it out and let their first baseman pick it for them. But yeah, Loy said, I don't need that. I can just make it in the air.
Strike 2 to Vastine. As we've seen with Arkansas, they put the shift on with 2 strikes. Kayla joins us.
Yeah, guys, it's always different, too, like seeing that type of play field level. And I'll tell you this much. I think he even impressed himself, made the play look back at the replay screen and kind of gave himself a nod. Like, sometimes you surprise yourself, I think, making those type of plays.
Look back there and check it out, see what it looked like.
Yeah.
Impressive at the plate, in the field. Arkansas shortstop. 1 ball, 2 strike count to the Commodore shortstop, who's good in his own right. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Vastine. A swing and a miss. Jimenez has been outstanding for Arkansas. 2 outs for Rustin Rigdon. As strikeout number 4 for Aiden, and 11 today for Razorback pitching.
A nice slider down the zone and able to get Vastine to chase. Jimenez has looked really good today.
Rigdon 1 out of 3. A single to go with 2 strikeouts. One strike count. Rigdon takes inside. If he can reach, Mike Mancini will bat here in the 9th. Hammered right field. Down for a base hit. 2 out single in the 9th as Rigdon takes a big turn at first, carrying the winning run for the Commodores.
I'll tell you what, Rigdon, he's put some good swings on the ball every time he's gotten in that lineup, especially this week, back on Tuesday and here today. That ball elevated up in the zone a little bit. Recognizes those pitches he can handle, and he doesn't miss them.
Mancini, 1 for 3. Single and stole a base in the 3rd.
You don't want to fall asleep on Rigdon over there. He's 8 for 8 on stolen bases. Would love to find a way to get him into scoring position.
A pitch out. Rigdon stays put. 1 ball count to Mancini. You play him in the outfield about as deep as you can. Decent lead for Rigdon at first. Check to swing. It was a strike, 1-1. Break-even pitch to the Vanderbilt second baseman. 2 balls and a strike. That strike zone has been tight, especially as this game has moved into the late innings. First hit allowed by Jimenez, and single by Rigdon. Mancini swings through it, 2-2.
It's a healthy hack. I mean, 2-1. Looked like got a pitch he could handle. Put the movement on Jimenez fastball. Just kind of ran off the barrel of Mancini. Huge next pitch right here, Kevin.
2-2 and a tie game in the 9th with 2 outs. Foul ball at the plate.
And what a great spot. I mean, this is why you play baseball in the SEC. As a recruit, you come and you want to play in these situations. High pressure. You know, game's on the line, series is on the line.
Another 2-2 pitch. To the right side, Souza throws to first to retire Mancini. A base hit at 1 left for Vanderbilt. To extra innings we go, all tied at 3. Vanderbilt and Arkansas at Hawkins Field. Well, Vanderbilt's played 7 games fewer than 9 innings this season, but we'll head to extra innings for the first time. Tied at 3, number 2 Razorbacks, number 14 Commodores here in Nashville. Been a heck of a battle. Sawyer Hawks did a great job. 4 innings. Only 2 base runners, and they were the same guy. It was Justin Thomas Jr. hit a solo homer in the 7th and reached on a walk in the 9th. Other than that, he kept Vanderbilt close, giving the Commodores a chance to even this series. Arkansas trying to score a series win. First time since 2010 here. Turned it over to left-hander Miller Green, the sophomore from here in Nashville. Become a late inning guy for the Vandy boys. 1.64 ERA. 5 saves.
Yeah, this is a guy that they always turn to when that temperature gets heated up. He's able to control the game, got a good fastball command, big time slider, and a cutter he likes to use down in the zone. But talking to pitching coach Scott Brown, said, yeah, his superpower is his ability to control the moment, slow his heart rate down, and just not let anything affect him. And as we go into extra innings, that's what this Commodore staff needs.
2 innings, 1 hit ball, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. The second game of that A&M series last weekend when he got that 5th save. And how many times does it happen? The guy who makes a great play in the field leads off the next half inning. Here's Vahiva Aloy. 2 for 4 in the afternoon. Fastball strike.
Yeah, that play he made, I mean, that's one of those plays you dream about making as a shortstop growing up as a little kid.
Yeah, you watch, Derek Jeter or Dansby Swanson or somebody like that make that play, and get out here and do it yourself in a big spot. One and 2.
Yeah, we saw Dansby Swanson make that play in was it the regional?
Against Indiana, I think it was.
But he did it on the hop. I mean, that play, Aloy was able to make it all the way in one fell swoop.
1-2 pitch misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Aloy. It'll be Vahiva Aloy, Logan Maxwell, and Kahio Aloy. Here in the 10th for Arkansas. Teams and extras. Smash to the right side off the glove of Mancini. A hard hit ball. Aloy reaches to begin the 10th.
Now, Kevin, the turf is already fast, but with that extra moisture, the ball was scorched. It got on top of Mancini quickly. And you can kind of see he was ready for it, but it's almost like it got underneath the glove a little bit faster than he was expecting.
These teams that have been airtight defensively have each committed a miscue today. It's only the 14th error for Vanderbilt this season. Maxwell 0 for 4.
Oh, that's a perfect example of that slider from Green. Maxwell went to bunt and almost ducked out of the way, but just sweep right in there as a strike.
Left on left off the plate, 1-1. Go ahead run on base for Arkansas to start the 10th. Green to Maxwell, fastball, 1-2. Local guy from Lipscomb Academy. One-two with a runner on the move. Pitches outside. The throw to second is not in time. Aloy is safe with a stolen base. His 3rd of the season. Makes his way into scoring position with a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Man, what a call there. Trying to get somebody in scoring position takes the risk. Yeah, that left hand does come off the bag, but because the throw from Barzy was offline. It took Brody Johnson off the bag and wasn't able to get Aloy when he slid off just a couple feet.
Able to get that mitt back on the bag. Meanwhile, a full count with Maxwell at the plate. Foul ball. You become that late inning guy and kind of experience those ups and downs, and Miller Green has had some of that over the first couple seasons, but overall has been excellent for Vanderbilt. Payoff again. To the right side, past Mancini. Aloy had to hold up. He'll be stopped at third on the single by Maxwell. 2 hard-hit balls against Green here in the ninth. The Razorbacks in business with runners at the corners and nobody out.
That ball was hit very well. Yeah, a missed spot, supposed to be on the corners there, and that went over the middle of the plate. Nice job by Aloy making sure that that ball is all the way through. Yeah, Arkansas in business here, first and third.
A hit and a walk and 4 times up for Kahio Aloy. 1 for 3 officially. Go ahead run 90 feet away for Arkansas. They have led 2 different times in this game today. Green throws a strike. Oh, and 2.
It was a hack. Just missed it. Yeah, just missed it. Miller Green. Gotta be smart here, 0-2.
Green will love just a big first out inside, 1 and 2. This is the 3rd extra inning game for Arkansas this season, and the 2nd one this week. They lost their midweek game against Missouri State 14-13 in 10 innings. They opened this season with a 3-2 win in 10 against Kayla's Washington State Cougars. Stays 1 and 2.
He's mixed up his pitches a good bit. We'll see if he might try and come with that slider on the outside corner.
Strike 3 called. That's a big first out for Miller Green. He fans Aloy looking. 1 gone, and now a double play ball gets it to the dugout with Brent Iredale coming up.
I don't think it came with the slider, but it came with the good changeup. Nice pitch here by Green. A little shimmy there on the punch out there from home plate umpire Brian Hale.
To the right side, a base hit gives Arkansas the lead for the 3rd time today. Iredale going the opposite way on the first pitch. Razorbacks lead it 4-3 here in the 10th. Aloy comes in to score. Maxwell stops at second. The inning continues for Cam Koziel.
Man, a game that's just going back and forth. Iredale wastes no time. Gets a pitch he can handle, shoots it the other way, and Razorbacks back on top.
1 for 4 day for Cam Koziel, including a 2-run homer back in the 2nd, his 3rd of the series. And the pitch gets away. Barzy took a moment to locate it. Runners move up 90 feet to 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, that was a little funky. That looked like maybe a cross-up.
And it went off the edge of the mid.
Yeah, nice visit there from Scott Brown. This has been a very emotional game. You know, it's back and forth. Arkansas takes the lead, grabs that momentum. He had the pass ball there, and Scott Brown said, all right, let's slow the heartbeat down. Let's regroup here.
Especially with the way Kojal has swung the bat in this series. Strikeout, a ground out, a line out since the home run. Infield in, all the way around with runners at second and third, one out. 1-1. The Omaha native, Cam Kojal. 3 of those 5 homers in this series. That one goes to the backstop, but right back to Barzy. We've talked about how that limited territory behind home plate can sometimes help the pitcher and catcher. He did right there.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much any other ballpark in the SEC, that's most likely going to be a run scored, but not here at Hawkins Field. Maybe at Tennessee. They have a pretty short backstop.
Kojal puts down a bunt, trying to squeeze home a run. The flip to the plate, not in time. Everybody's safe. Kojal has done it with a long ball. Here does it with the squeeze bunt to bring in Maxwell and make it 5-3.
I think he caught everybody off guard there. A little safety squeeze. And in the perfect spot. I mean, I think if that's harder, I think Nelson is able to grab it and make a flip, but in a perfect spot to make Green come off the mound. And just not enough time to get to it and flip it to Barzy.
Arkansas plating 2 runs here in the 10th. Still only 1 out. Runners at first and third with Kojal at first and Iredale down at third base. One strike pitch. They push a bunt to the first base side, and Nelson juggling, trying to make the flip to home. Again, everybody's safe as Helfrich gets the bunt down to make it 6-3. Iredale comes in to score for the Razorbacks.
And that was in a perfect spot for Nelson to make that play, because it did have a little extra juice. But that's why you make those plays as an offense. You force the defense to execute. I mean, even though it wasn't the most perfect bunt, it still forced Nelson to make the play, and he just kind of got it stuck in his glove.
Arkansas twice in a row getting bunts down to get 2 runs home. It's part of a 3-run 10th. Now runners at first and second for Souza, who's 0 for 4. Things unraveling for Vanderbilt in the 10th for a tightly played game most of the day. One ball count. Souza takes ball 2. This Razorback team's been devastating offensively throughout the season. You look up and down their schedule, so many double-digit games in terms of run production. A lot of power in this inning using the small ball. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
Yeah, Arkansas historically, you know, they play really good small ball. They've run really well, but after last season, Coach Van Horn said we're going to get some guys that can really swing it, and they're able to get in the portal and get some really good production.
Lifted to right. It's Humphrey. Gets over to make the catch. Runner at second tags. That's Kojal. He'll go to third. At the corners with 2 outs on a fly out by Souza. Justin Thomas Jr. was the only man to reach against Sawyer Hawks. A home run in the 7th and a walk in the 9th. 1 out of 3 on the afternoon. Green has him out in front. Top of the order coming up for Vanderbilt in the bottom half of this 10th inning. For Arkansas has put up at least 3. A swing and a miss, 0-2.
Yeah, 2 big old sliders. And Thomas has had some trouble with it. We might even see one right here again, 3 in a row.
Runner goes from first. It's strike 3, and the inning is done for the Razorbacks. They send 8 men to the plate. 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 squeeze bunts. 6-3 Arkansas trying to get the series win. Let's go to the bottom of the 10th. Well, the Razorback fans seated down the first baseline, seeing their team score 3 runs in the 10th, 2 on squeeze bunts, 1 on an RBI single by Brent Iredale. Jump in front, leading for the 3rd time today and hoping to get to the finish line with Vanderbilt sitting up the top of the order against Aiden Jimenez, who has been really good in relief. Kept Vanderbilt off the scoreboard after entering with 2 outs in the 7th. Jacob Humphrey to start it off. 1-1. Humphrey, Austin, Johnston for the Vandy boys. Trying to avoid a 2nd consecutive loss here at Hawkins Field, where they had gone undefeated until last night.
If you're going to do it with any part of the lineup, and this is exactly who you want up, top of the order.
Up the middle and a good start to the 10th. As number 10 lines a single, Jacob Humphrey. His first hit of the afternoon.
A very nice piece of hitting. But still got a ways to go. I mean, he got 3 runs, so just got to keep getting those base runners on.
R.J. Austin, 1 out of 4 today. It was an infield hit, came around to score. Ball 1. Arkansas looking for his first series win against Vanderbilt since 2017. They've not won a series here since 2010. Commodores swept in 15. Vanderbilt won 2 out of 3 here in 2019 and then 2 seasons ago in 2023. Austin pulls it foul, 1-1. Decent lead for Humphrey. Doesn't figure to be going anywhere. Down by 3 runs. Austin hit by a pitch. Or was he?
Went up by his chin.
No, maybe not. Thought it got him at first.
Yeah, I thought it did too.
Nope, just missed. I guess what I heard was the ball hitting the catcher's mitt.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Humphrey does go to second. 3 balls and a strike to Austin. As Andrew said, you got the part of the order you want at the plate here in the 10th if you're Vanderbilt, down by 3 runs. Austin awaits a 3-1 pitch. Off the glove of the pitcher. Jimenez runs over to get it. Everybody's safe. Austin with his 2nd infield hit of the day. Vanderbilt has him at the corners with nobody out. Brody Johnston representing the tying run.
It's so hard as a pitcher to not try and grab this ball, but that's an easy play for the Hiva Eloy to make, going across the middle. It probably would have been a little bit close at first base, but I think he would have gotten him. But the kick off the glove, and Commodores threatening here with runners on 1st and 3rd.
Quick mound visit from the first base dugout before Brody Johnston bats. They have Dylan Carter getting loose. A Razorback bullpen. And a steady diet of right-handers. This game today, it was Gackle and Wiggins. Jimenez since the 7th. Well, certainly a guy at the plate who can get this game back tied, but Brody Johnston's had a rough day. A bounce out to the pitcher and 3 strikeouts, and it's 4 times to the plate. Austin bluffs going. Johnston takes a strike. Each team with 9 hits and 1 error. Arkansas leads on the scoreboard 6-3. One strike to Johnston. 1-1.
And one thing that Tim Corbin said that Johnston does is just simplifies the game. Not a lot to his swing. Just kind of sees it and hits it. And exactly what he needs to do here. Don't think about the situation. Just find that pitch you can hit and put a good swing on it.
2-1 strikeout. Five homers, 25 driven in for Johnston on the season. 2-1 pitch.
Ooh.
Trying to tie the game. It's 2-2.
Yeah, he did. Had the 2-1, man. Just missed it. Now, got to go to work here with 2 strikes.
Jimenez, the 2-2 pitch. Fouled back. We'll do it again.
And we have seen him leave the yard this year with 2 strikes. And that is definitely still a possibility. So if you're Jimenez, got to make sure that this 2 strikes is the 2-strike pitch is still a good option.
Popped up. Foul territory behind the plate. Catcher Helfrich coming back. He's got it. Just short of the screen. Johnston pops out with the runner still at first and third.
That's a nice job hanging on there by Helfrich. Not a lot of territory back there, but you got the screen. And sometimes they can go over the screen and then kind of come back into the field of play. Did a really nice job sticking with it. The huge out there for Jimenez.
And now it's Nelson. 0 for 4. Arkansas has done a good job at this part of the batting order. The exception of Mac Rose. Johnston and Nelson held off base today. Humphrey and Austin on base for Vanderbilt. Down by 3 runs here in the 10th. Austin goes, pitch to Nelson. Fly ball out behind second base. It's Thomas, the center fielder, makes the catch. Humphrey tags and comes in to score, but Vanderbilt is down to its last out as that fly ball off the bat of Nelson makes it 6-4.
Yeah, it looked like Nelson just got under that. A nice job by Jimenez. Kind of getting Nelson out in front a bit.
2 hits for Mac Rose today and 4 times up, including an RBI single in the 6th. Vanderbilt has battled back twice to tie in this game, trying to do it for a 3rd time. Rose sends it to the first baseman Kojal to the bag, and Arkansas takes the series with a 6-4 win in 10 innings in Game 2. A battle all the way, but the Razorbacks score 3 times in the 10th for their first series victory here at Vanderbilt since 2010.
It was just a great baseball game, Kevin. I mean, it was back and forth. I mean, Arkansas comes out early and the Commodores fight back, and yeah, just great all around, great pitching, great hitting, and exactly what SEC fans want. Commodores need to come to the field ready to play tomorrow.
Aiden Jimenez, outstanding for Arkansas to finish it off. Back with you tomorrow, 1 o'clock Central Time start for Andrew Harris, Kayla Anderson, Doug Stanton, our whole SEC Network crew. Kevin Ingram saying so long from the Music City, a 6-4 victory for Arkansas.